Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 5 of week 1 of the PS4, PS5, our Rainbow Six Siege League thing. I completely screwed that intro up, but fortunately, nobody appears to be in chat just yet. Good evening, everybody, as you start to float in, and for those of you tuning into the VOD that is left afterwards, we are live today with Expansion versus Black Angels Esports. We have Franco in chat. Good evening, Franco. How is everybody this evening? Hello, Maz. Good evening. Welcome. Let's get a few more people in chat. Get everybody in nice and early. I'm going to be sending out invites for the game at about 25 to, and the game should start around 1:45. For the very first game today, we're going to be playing on Cafe, Expansion versus Black Angel Esports. Unfortunately, there has been a slight technical issue on the side of, I believe it was Black Angel. Sadly, one of their players is experiencing some technical difficulties, so won't be able to join in for the first game, and none of their subs are available. Subsequently, it's been decided between the two teams that the first game will be played as a 5v4. The player who's having the technical issues will be joining in for the second game, however, so maybe if Expansion can win the first game due to the numbers advantage, Black Angel are then able to pull it back in the second half when they have their full roster with them, able to hopefully bring the pain back to Expansion after any pain that may or may not be caused with them being in a 5v4 situation from the very beginning. So, apologies on behalf of that one. But unfortunately these things happen when you're dealing with modern technology. We all know that, of course, electricity, internet, everything can be a little bit iffy at times, but these things happen. These things happen. Anyway, good to see a few of you already joining in chat. Good to see you all. And I'll be hopefully being able to chat with you guys as we begin to load into this game here. Once we get into the stream, though, today we have Maz, who is currently one of the mods in chat. Please feel free to ask him any questions, direct them his way, and he'll answer them to the best of his abilities and draw anything to my attention that needs to be answered after the stream, or certainly after the first game. Like I say, I'll do my best to answer anything in chat currently as we prepare to go into the game now, but once we're in game, there's too many things to focus on. Sadly, I am but one man at the moment. We haven't quite worked out the best way to do any duo casts, but we are exploring these options. We'll hopefully be able to bring you some duo casts, maybe starting from next week, but we'll keep you all updated within the Discord chat for those that are part of it. For those who are tuning in from outside the Discord chat, though, we'll make sure to keep you updated as and when each stream starts. Right, so we only have 3 people in here at the moment. Let's get those viewers up. Send out the requests. Sound the trumpets. Get everybody in here that needs to be in here. Let's get a good crowd of us watching this evening for the final game of the first week of this PS4, PS5 Rainbow Six Siege Esports League, whatever it's called. I keep ruining that name. It's something very official, and I keep ruining it, so I do apologise. Cheers, keeping an eye out, Maz, for those banned skins. I've also made a note to both teams so we can try and avoid any issues like we had in the game yesterday between RNS and ICE. Unfortunately, one of the banned skins that is shown within our rulebook was unfortunately on one of the players' operators during one of the rounds. It wasn't realised until afterwards, but we paused the game, we corrected the issue, and both teams were happy to carry on from that point. But I've just reiterated the point to the teams today just to make sure that we don't have any of those issues moving forward. To answer the question for you, Maz, JChag is one of the guys from the Paradox gaming team, which I am myself and Franco are part of. He's one of the players for us. I wouldn't necessarily say he's going to break the kill record, but we'll of course see what happens on that front. Anyway, the time is now 7:35, so to try and get this game underway bang on 7:45, I'm just going to nip and drop some invites over to the opposing teams today. So I'll be right back. Invites have now been sent to both parties. They'll get themselves into the lobby hopefully soon enough, and from there, once the clock strikes 7:45, as long as we have all players in the lobby that can make it today, then we will be underway. Perfect. Yep, I've just sent invites. Sent. Perfect. So the scores on the doors so far, to recap what has happened so far this week. We have seen 4 games played so far between 8 teams. Quite a varied array of performances seen from all teams that have played. We've had some absolute cakewalks, we've had some incredibly close nail-biting games, but then we've also had some very flip-flop games. The best example of this was one of our first games, Tempo versus Zodiac, where they played both Oregon and Clubhouse. The first map went to Tempo. They won it 7-1 against Zodiac, but then the second map, Clubhouse, went 7-1 in the opposite direction to Zodiac. Therefore, they are both currently sat on 1 point in the league. The second game that happened on Tuesday was Paradox versus Counteract. This was one of those very close, nail-biting games that we saw. The very first one, which was played, was Oregon. This ended up being an 9-8 win to Counteract. Very, very close game. Came down to the final round, which basically means all those 16 rounds they played before were completely useless. It all came down to that one final round, which fortunately Counteract were able to clinch, and Paradox unfortunately were not able to secure that win. This was then followed up by Clubhouse again, which Counteract won 7-4 quite decisively when they moved on to attack. This means that Counteract gets the full 3 points for a best-of-2 series win, and Paradox unfortunately are left with 0 points. Following on from that, on Wednesday's game, we saw RZP versus Team Lethal. RZP walked away with 2 map wins, the first one going 7-0 and the second one going 7-1. It was a very one-sided game, but it's good to see that Team Lethal put in some great work in there and managed to actually get some frags back and actually had some very close rounds. The scoreline doesn't show actually how close that game may have been at a few points. Team Lethal are very new to the EU comp side of things, so some of their players aren't the most experienced, but hopefully through this league they're going to get the experience that they need to build up and hopefully challenge some of the rest of the teams in the league. They may not get the top spots this time around, but hopefully they stick around and stay in for Season 2, and maybe they can show us what they're really made of at that point. The final game that we saw yesterday that was also casted by myself was RNS versus Ice. This was played on 2 maps, Oregon and Cafe. The first one going the way of Ice in an overtime 8-6 win. Ice showed a very, very good performance in that game and of course came out on top with the win 8-6. The second map that they played was Cafe, but this fell towards the favour of RNS, who managed to win it 7-4 without needing to touch the overtime. Apologies, just a second, I need to have a look at what's going on in one of the Discord chats. Yes. Perfect. Apologies for that. I just had to have a little have a little check of one of the group chats to make sure that everything was set up ready for this game. Because we're getting a few more people into the stream. Glad to see you all tuning in this evening. And let's just slowly get all the players in. For those of you that haven't already heard, unfortunately, we have had a slight technical issue on the side of one of Black Angel esports players, so unfortunately they will only be rostering a team of 4 for this first game. However, hopefully those technical difficulties will be fixed by the time it comes to the second match, which means that we will see a full 5v5 in map 2. This has been agreed by both teams in advance of the game, so everybody should be happy with it, and hopefully we'll be getting underway in about 5 minutes time once everybody has joined the lobby. We're just waiting on 2 players now. Everything else is set up and ready to go. So how are we all this evening? For the first game we go to Cafe Dostoevsky, and expansion starts on the attacking side, and also wanted to start on the attacking side in overtime. Meanwhile, when we eventually do get to Clubhouse and we get the full 5v5, we will see Black Angel Gaming, or Black Angel Esports, apologies, starting on attack for that one. And in OT, they will be also on attack. Both teams deciding to go not only for the attacking first half, but then when it gets to OT, swapping onto the attacking side as well. Now, while we wait for the players to get back in, yes, I am now playing on mouse, thank you. Now, while we wait for the players to get back in, let's run through a few of the interesting stats so far from this season. Currently sat at the top of the league for the highest overall KD, we have Callum, who is sat at 23-8. He currently has plus 15. Second place, we have Maz from Ice, currently at plus 14, putting up a very impressive 31 kills to 17 deaths. If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe Maz also holds our single game kill record, which I believe comes to 21. He's in chat, so correct me if I'm wrong. So far as well this season, we haven't seen too many maps being played. We haven't had that diverse of a mix. The three main maps we've seen coming out so far have been Clubhouse, Oregon, and Cafe, and of course today we are seeing two of those once again. Six of the 8 maps that we are going to have seen. No, apologies. 9 of the 10 maps that we're going to see played come from those 3, with Villa being so far the only anomalous result that we've seen so far, and this was picked by, I believe, RZP or Team Lethal in their match, which ended 7-1. Now we're just waiting for one more team member to hop into this game, and then we'll be ready to start for 7:45. Have we got a few more people in chat? Yes, according to my PlayStation, we've got 9 people, but according to Twitch, we've got 5. Let's just go somewhere in the middle and say we've got 7. That'll make everybody happy. There you go. Apologies, just needed to drop another message into the chat. Bum, bum, bum. How is everybody this evening? Let's see. Can we get some predictions from everybody in the chat this evening? What do you think is going to be the outcome of this game? Of course, we have a slight issue with the fact that Black Angel aren't able to bring their full roster to this first map. However, hopefully in the second map, when it is a full 5v5, will we see the tables turned if Expansion are able to capitalise on the fact that they are in a 5v4 for this very first game? What do we think? Are we going to see another draw like we've seen so far? Or are we going to see one team outfrag the other and come out on top? Perfect. Also, just to give a quick rundown of the league table so far, currently in first place we have Counteract, sat on 3 points, closely followed by RZP, who are also on 3 points. Counteract are currently at the top of the league because so far they have actually won more rounds than RZP, although both teams are currently sat on the same number of points. RNS comes in next with 1 point, exactly the same as Ice. RNS, of course, slightly beating out Ice Cold Esports with the fact that they did have the round advantage when it came to number of wins secured, as well as, of course, map wins. That game ended in a draw between the two teams. Following on from that, we have Tempo and Zodiac, who cannot be split because both teams won one map 7-1, and then the other team won the other map 7-1. So those two are currently inseparable. Will that still be the case by the end of the season? Who knows? Let's see the predictions when they come through. And sadly, at the bottom of the league, we currently have Paradox and Team Lethal. Paradox being ahead of Team Lethal because although they did lose the games, they have got quite a lot of round wins under their belt. But Team Lethal, sadly at the bottom with the least amount of rounds won so far. But hopefully, as the league progresses on and the members of that roster gather more experience, they'll be able to hopefully get more wins on the board and, fingers crossed, series wins, not just map wins. I'm certainly rooting for your Team Lethal. Love a good underdog. Anyway, the two teams that we're interested in today are Expansion versus Black Angel Esports. We now have everybody in the lobby, but I'm just waiting for confirmation from both sides that we are ready to go into the game. And once we have confirmed that, we will be underway. Hopefully it won't be too long. I don't want to keep you guys waiting, so we'll see what happens here. Apologies for the slight bit of quietness. Unfortunately, I'm trying to concentrate on typing, and it's been a long day. Speaking of which, how's everybody looking forward to the weekend? Everybody had a good Friday? Ready for the weekend? Hopefully this is the best way to start the weekend off. Just having a quick look at everybody's stats going into this game. Everybody's always interested in asking me to show these, so might as well. A good gold roster here coming out from expansion, and on the upper side we have Black Angel with gold, plat, another plat, and another plat. This may be a closer game than we were expecting, just going off ranks. However, only when we are actually in the game will we be able to see the true difference between these two teams when we have a 5v4 as it is. Cool. Both teams are now ready. Let's go on into the game. Hi Jason, I see you over there in chat. And here we are going into map number 1 of this best of 2 series between Expansion versus Black Angel Esports. Starting on the attacking side we have Expansion, and on the defensive side we have Black Angel. Black Angel unfortunately have not been able to bring their full roster to this game due to a technical difficulty with one of their members and none of their subs being available. However, both teams agreed that they were happy to go into the game a 5v4, and let's see where we come out at the end of this. Will this player deficit come into the favour of Expansion, or will Black Angel Esports be able to motivate the entire team more, make those kills count, turtle if required on the sites, and get the wins that they require on this very first map? By the fact that they're in a deficit, it would seem that maybe Expansion might be able to clutch out the win here. However, just from looking at the ranks at the beginning, and that's all that I can go off so far, we have no other stats currently available for either of these teams. We are looking at possibly Black Angel Esports, despite being the member down, might be able to creep in there and get the win on the first round. They might surprise all of us, but my money certainly at the moment is currently on Expansion as we go into our first map on Cafe. Pick and bans are now nearly finished. We see this pretty standard ban at the moment in ranked and professional play of Thatcher coming out. Along with that, we also have the Nomad to stop the runouts. But then, strangely, it seems that Expansion have counterbanned themselves by banning the Valkyrie. You'd almost normally expect the Nomad to come in response to a Valkyrie, or a Valkyrie to come in response to a Nomad, because often they sort of counter each other. Valkyrie is very good at those aggressive runouts, but Nomad counters her quite aggressively. But the counter has come out from the same team. Very peculiar. We'll see how important this comes in later on, and for the final ban being Cav coming out from the side of Black Angel Esports, not wanting to deal with those interrogations when they're already a man down into this first game. So on the first round of Game 1, we see Black Angel Esports going to the top floor, bringing the Mirror, Castle, Malusi and Jaeger. Seems they're going to be turtling hard on that site. Maybe the Jaeger going a little bit off-site, but overall it seems to be a turtle strat, just from looking at the picks that they've put on the board to try and stop Expansion getting into the site and getting those picks on them, since they are at a slight disadvantage due to one of the players having technical difficulties. When the attacking team is going onto the top floor site, it is often quite important to, of course, get that top floor control. 2 hatches on the roof open up into red and electrical, although everybody calls it new hatch, but it's technically called electrical. From here, the push then normally comes through into Cigar Shop and Cigar Lounge, and then into the bar where a plant tries to come down. Will that be the standard push that we see today from Expansion, or will they bring something different into the mix because they're playing against a 5v4. Will they be more aggressive? Will they be less aggressive? Let's see how this all plays out. Mirror opening up some long holes through the back of Freezer. This is a normal place to try and stop people playing in the cigar lounge quite as easily. And you'll see she'll set up the mirror back here on the outside Freezer wall. Currently we see expansion spawning all around the map and pretty much safely being able to rappel up to the roof where they want to, because there's not much of a roam so far coming out of Black Angel Esports. You've got everybody seems to be playing on that cocktail balcony, with of course the castle playing the mirror in Freezer. The Melusi is the only one who's sort of playing away from sight, and she's playing directly in the hatch, seeing if she can get an early C4 pick onto the hatch here. Does she hear does she go for the C4? She goes for the C4 toss. Does it collect anybody? No, but it takes a sliver of health off of the Gridlock, who was trying to open the hatch with her super shorty right there. And Melusi has fallen back into sight, trying to play around in the cigar lounge, trying to hold that push for as long as possible, waste as much time. As we see the Ace open the top of red wall. Ace is now droning in from the hatch. They're trying to get as much intel on the operators as they can. They realise that they have a mirror window to contend with. Looks like Capitao might be going on the rappel here to try and counteract these mirrors. A very good play, but will there be a member of Black Angels who are ready to run out from the pillar's door beneath him? If that is the case, then his rappel might be completely cut off, and that might be the opening frag that Black Angels need. Currently both teams playing very cautiously at the moment, not really wanting to give away too much, especially Expansion, who of course already have the numbers advantage due to that issue with one of the players from Black Angels. However, let's hope that they can actually stick with this and make it work out the round. If they're not careful, they might lose a player, and then it's in a 4v4, and then what was the point in this member of the team not being available? Currently we see Castle and Mirror playing both of these windows. And we have the first pick going to the side of Expansion at the Claymore that was prepped underneath the runout, covering the Capitao, I believe, on this cocktail balcony. That is the pick that Expansion wanted at the beginning of this game. Seems that most of the Expansion team have now managed to get into Cigar Shop and Cigar Lounge. There's not much contest coming through here. They managed to open up the castle barricades, and they're now beginning to push onto site. The Ace currently has Diffuser. Is he going to go for the plant right now, or are they going to do it in a bit? Zoff is putting in her charges into the mirror. She's now repelling into white. Do they realise she's there? No, they don't. The Jaeger falls on Cocktail. The mirror manages to refract though, and the plant is going down from Ace behind in default plant spot. Can they get the Claymore off? The Ash is down, so now it's a 2v3 situation, and another one falls, and it's a 2v2 situation. The mirror is swinging from the side, but she gets taken out by the Ace. It's now a 1v2. Can the Castle frag out here and then get the defuse off on these two players playing on the default plant spots? An electrical bounce. He seizes the Ace, he pre-fires, but he misses his shots. The Ace being on a slight bit more health and lands the headshots. And Expansion win the first round. Closer than we may have been expecting from these two teams, due to the fact that they managed to... that Black Angel is one member down. But overall it seems the numbers advantage came to fruition, especially with that early pick with the run out from the Melusi not paying dividends due to the Claymore placed by Capitao. A very similar setup here coming out of Black Angel, although this time it seems that all eyes on Mango. Hasn't picked his operator. We'll see which operator he goes. He gets Legion. They're currently going back to Bar Cocktail Lounge. We'll see what they do differently and whether they can actually secure the win on this round with them only being a 4-man. Decided against the mirror probably because of that Capitao playing on the cocktail rappel. We'll see whether Expansion put the same amount of pressure onto the cocktail rappel as they did this time, especially since they have bought the Capitao again. Will he go on the same rappel? Will they be expecting the runouts? Who knows? It's good though to see that Black Angels are trying out a different strategy for holding the site this time round. Although ideally, with how they lost last time, it was a close thing, so arguably they are right to be staying on the same site. However, personally, I would maybe have tried a different site after that one. Especially since they lost that first player so early to a run out. Will they do the same? Will they play as aggressively, or will they turtle even harder than they did on the previous round? Maybe if they would have had the Malusi still alive later on in the round, it could have been the difference maker. But sadly that was not the case. So far not too much action coming out, but two players certainly showing their colours so far. Madigan on the Zoff and Plasma on the Ace. I believe they played the same roles in the last round. Showing us how it's done with extra kills in there. Malusi once again playing aggressive on the red hatch, seeing if she can get any early picks with that C4 in her pocket. Although they may be expecting it this time after the attempt in the previous round. Nobody seems to be going to hatch though yet. Where exactly is everybody pushing? Here's see Capital putting down his claymore on the pillars run out. This one directly on the door. It was probably viewable from inside. So should somebody go and rip that barricade down, they might actually see the claymore before they do it and shoot it, thus making the claymore completely useless. However, if nobody sees it, as soon as that barricade is ripped down, they are gone. They are gone. A very, very slow start here from Expansion. Maybe after how close the previous round got for them, they've decided to take this one a little bit slower. There doesn't appear to be much. They've finally got two members on the roof of the Gridlock and the Ace. Ace once again with Diffuser. Once again taking a lot of time. Nearly half the round now has passed before they've got this presence on the roof. Ash and Capital though playing on the balcony at the side. I think they are actually on the ground floor. Playing the reading room back terrace. There we go. That's what it's called. And the first gunfight comes out, and Zofia manages to win that one. She was on the rappel. I think the Malusi was playing maybe in Pixel spot and got picked off again. That's another early pick against Penta. Playing the Malusi. That is not what Black Angel Esports was wanting. So unfortunately they're once again in a deficit when they were already in a deficit. However, there's often quite a bit of damage in that engagement. So maybe that might be the difference maker. Ash playing a bit of the vertical angles here onto the team. Capital rotating around to push up red stairs. This looks like where the plant is going to come from once again. Ace still chilling on the roof, just droning in for his team where he can, trying to get that intel so they can maybe get another couple of picks, make it that extra bit safer. Legion seems to be having some issues with his ping. We may have to review the pings after this round if they do not improve. We may have to do a rehost. However, Expansion leave it right until the very end, but the Ace is now in sight. He's going for the plant. They're in a 5v2. Will he be able to get down? C4 comes out with 4 seconds left on the clock. Will anybody be able to get to that diffuser and continue the plan? No, they don't. Does the bandit get the kill? No, he doesn't. He's running for it. He gets the kill. Operators, you are out of time. Black Angel managed to win it. All Eyes on Mango has unfortunately lagged out of the game, it appears. We're going to call a quick pause on this one and see if we have to do a rehost. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, we were just waiting for All Eyes on Mango to reconnect to the game. He was having some connection issues. We were also currently investigating the couple of ping issues that we're having on the side of Expansion. Okay. We investigated, but we're going to allow this one to continue. We're going to investigate after, by the looks of it. Cool. Perfect. We'll continue to play the match now that everybody is back in. And we'll get everything underway once again. Now that we're back into the third round, we see Black Angel Esports, who managed to clutch out the final round there by killing the Capitale that was planting in the final few seconds. They have now moved downstairs because they managed to win the top floor. Well played there by the Bandit to keep himself alive right until the very end. He may only have got two kills in that round, one with the C4 onto the ace and finally shooting the Capitale who was finishing the plant, but because the timer had run down, because Expansion had let the time run up so far, they managed to get the win under their belt. As soon as that plant stops after the timer's hit 0, the team that is planting it instantly loses the round, so well played there on the side of Black Angels.
10 seconds left before insertion. You can stop worrying about grenades. 5 seconds left before insertion. AD is deployed and ready to go. Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Looks like they're trying to go for the Cade trick on the hatch and the double back wall, and it seems the Cade has managed to land it perfectly. A lot of wall denial coming out here on the side of Black Angels to make sure that those walls cannot be open. No real extension into Bakery though. Will this come back to bite them? But also, do they have enough players on their roster at the moment, with one of their members having connectivity issues? I don't think they would to be able to have that expansion. Due to that as well, they're not really got any roamers. It does look like though that the Jaeger is playing somewhere on the top floor, currently being contested by the Ash, who is repelling, and he gets the first pick. There we go. He's instantly made it into a 4v4. Not God has made it into a 4v4 for his team. Well played there on the roam by the Jaeger. Managed to pick off the Ash, who mustn't have had the drone intel that she needed to make the right call when repelling into Cocktail Lounge. Looks like 3 of Expansion here are going to be looking towards the Bakery take, see if they can get that utility off of the walls that allows them to open up the site and push the advantage in there and maybe get the plant down behind the kitchen tables. But as the numbers game is gone very much in the favour of Black Angels, knowing they started this one in a 4v5, they now have it in a 4v4 after that initial pick by Not God, who is still playing upstairs. And there's only one member who's currently droning him out and looking like they're even going to try and contest it, and that is the Gridlock on the roof. Does she find him with her drone? Let's see. And if so, can she push the advantage? Can she win in a 1v1 gunfight versus this Jaeger? Maybe it would be worthwhile either Black just completely ignoring the Jaeger and putting up flank watch, especially with this Gridlock, who has 3 of her track stingers that can be placed at crucial flank points. Is she going to commit to this? Yes, she is. She's dropping electrical hatch, pushing in. Has Jaeger heard this though? No, he hasn't. Has any call come out? He pushes up. Will he be able to get the flank and the pick onto the Gridlock, who's currently on red stairs? She's been slightly linked up though with the Ace, who's currently playing outside. Sorry, Zofia. And here we see Gridlock pushing a little bit further down, putting those flank drones up. But where is the Jaeger? Still roaming top floor. I don't think he knows that the Gridlock has pushed down the red stairs. If he did, maybe he could have got the flank on. And maybe could do a little bit of damage to her here, although now she has put those track stings. She put them lower down the stairs. The rotate is completely open for the Jaeger. Do they even realise that the Jaeger is still playing on the top floor? We've already seen some pretty crucial flanks coming out of teams previously. I believe the game yesterday was from RNS versus Ice Cold Gaming. He got that. We had Synergy on the castle getting the perfect flank from top floor, netted 2 kills into the bar, which completely halted the push. Once again, Expansion managed to run the timer down, and they've barely got any purchase into sight. Here they go with a last second push. They bring the Jaeger down upstairs, but the Ace has defused. He's also got a Legion in his leg. He cannot get the plant down. It's a 3v1. He doesn't get the Legion mine out in time, and he cannot plant. Ace doesn't get the Legion mine out of his leg, which denies the plant despite the fact that it ended in a 3 or a 4v1. I didn't quite see how many people got killed at the end there. That was it seems that Expansion are being very methodical with their push, but they're leaving everything just a tiny bit too late. They don't have everybody set up in the right places. They're getting picked off, and unfortunately there's just too much denial on the side of Black Angels to stop, which is stopping that plant getting down, whether it be killing the planter in the final few seconds or in that last round where we saw the Legion mine coming in crucial because it needs to be pulled out your leg before you can get the plant down. It would have been a very close thing if the ace had managed to pull the Legion mine out of his leg, and I don't think he would have got the plant down anyway. But sadly, he let go of the button at the last second, so didn't remove the Legion mine from his leg, and was thus unable to plant the bomb. That could be incredibly crucial. And in fact, we actually see, although it's a 4v5 from the very beginning here, we see Black Angels with the advantage after 3 rounds going into round 4. Here playing the dining and mining site. Dining and mining. Didn't even realise that rhymed. How are they going to set this one up? They've bought the Melusi once again. Melusi proving quite crucial in, of course, slowing down some of those pushes, wasting a bit of utility from the attacker's side. But as well as this, Legion so far has proven most crucial on being played by Penta. Despite the fact that he has no kills to his name so far and has not really contributed in that sense, he has so far netted his team 1 of the round wins from the goo mine in the leg of the ace in the previous one that denied that plant. Time to kick ass. Yes, I agree, Legion. Let's see if Not God goes for a top floor roam this time. No, he doesn't. He seems to be going on a downstairs roam. Will he do any runouts that might aggressively get some of the side of Expansion, who are currently on repel? Expansion being a bit wary though with these runouts, and any peeks that may come from the bottom of white. You see Ace here watching them as the rest of the team repels to the roof. Looks like they're going to take top floor control, and once they have this, they're going to slowly push down, take the second floor, and then hopefully get into sight and get that plant down. Hopefully they leave themselves a little bit more time on the clock this time, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Ying taking a bit of damage there, I think being shot from one of the mining windows. Sadly, whoever she had that little engagement with didn't take any damage in return and managed to get away. So whoever got in that fight with her, I believe it may have been the Jaeger of Not God, walked away. That was a win in his engagement book. Well played. So far we see the Melusi of All Eyes on Mango and the Wamai of Marchers sat in Train Museum, just holding down the site for now, while the rest of their team, Not God and Penta, are all roaming off site. Penta just doing a local roam, only as far away as in reading, but Not God all the way downstairs at the bottom of the pillar staircase into VIP. Meanwhile, we have the majority of Expansion either on the balcony outside the mining and train museum, or above, playing these vertical angles with shotguns with the Jackal and the Gridlock. Seems that with this pressure from above, they managed to push off the players that were in train museum. The Melusi is still playing quite aggressive though, seeing as she can get a pick through these peek holes. She pre-fires one of them but misses the shot. Does she see the Gridlock? No, she doesn't. Going for a C4. Badly placed though, as the 2 players from Expansion managed to push away. Ying and Ace though now outside the windows, waiting to see if they can get an opening into sight to try and get this plant down. They have 49 seconds on the clock, but they're still leaving it a little bit fine, but they do have time to work with. Zoffa's managed to make her way into pillars, and as she has been joined by Gridlock from the top floor, watching that reading angle. Is Penta still playing? He is. Will he swing? He sees the Gridlock, and he hits the shots, injuring her and getting the first kill, making it another 4v4 situation with Black Angel. Jackal tries to swing the Legion in reading, but misses, and Legion gets down by the Zofia in reading as she swings the door. Ace has also been downed as he enters into sight. He had Diffuser. Now, will they be able to get this down? It's now a 2v3 situation, and Wamai lands his shots onto the Zofia. Goodness me, I can't English today. And it's now a 1v2. The Ying has picked up the Diffuser, and she is going for the plant. Do they realise what's going on, though? The Melusi is swinging the corner. She sees the Melusi device going off, but does she see the Ying? She does. Does she land the shots? And she finishes it off. I do apologise, it was Wamai that does it. Do they realise that Ace is down? No, they don't. Now they do. Gets the final kill, and they defuse the bomb. Well played there again from Black Angel Esports, once again getting the kill despite them being at a numbers deficit. Expansion put up a better fight this time, but sadly it was those early picks and early gunfights that they lost to the team of Black Angels that meant that they walked away with another round loss on the attacking side. for round 5, currently with Black Angels in the lead with a 3-1 lead over Expansion. We see them moving back to Bar and Cocktail Lounge. Once again bringing a slightly different setup this time, while a very similar one coming out from the side of Expansion, but instead of the Capital that they've bought on previous top floor takes, this time they're bringing the Ash. However, it's been 6 picked off onto a Twitch. Could prove useful in getting rid of some of that utility. Twitch can be incredibly effective against ADSs, Cades and Wamai devices. However, they will only shut down and disable the Melusi devices. They will not destroy them. You actually have to physically use indirect explosions or go up and knife the Melusi device to actually get it destroyed. No mirror coming out from the side of Black Angel Esports this time. After the first round loss, they decided that it just wasn't worth the risk, and instead they're bringing a much more offensive team rather than a defensive team for this. And so far it's been working in their favour, with 3 rounds on the trots going in favour of Black Angel, despite the fact that they have this man advantage. Once again, we see the Jaeger of Not God going all the way to bottom floor on a roam. Will he try spawn peek? Has he been seen by that Twitch drone though? He preps the small bakery window and sits by it waiting to see if anybody goes up on the rappel. Nobody yet from Expansion has gone towards this location though, so hopefully nobody gets picked off by this run out, but he's still just waiting there. If he gets the sound cue for the rappel, he may just go for it. And will he get the early pick again that Black Angels have been finding ever so crucial to get these wins so far in defense? Does he hear the rappel sound of the Ying? No, I don't think he does. He's waiting, but he still doesn't hear anything. He's kind of lost his opportunity now. Here we see an Expansion, some of them still in sight. The Ace still just holding angles on White Door, expecting Black Angel to play much more aggressively and try and shoot his teammates as they go on the rappel. But surely he knows at this point that nobody's there and nobody's going to shoot him. He should really get to roof, get some drones into sight, and try and get those early picks onto Black Angels. Once again, Melusi going for the aggressive C4 through the hatch, but it doesn't land, doesn't take any damage onto the side of Expansion. Lots of drone work coming out here from the side of Expansion. Trying to find out where all of these players are playing, find out what utility they're going to come up against. Once again though, they need to try and make sure that they're not wasting too much time in this. There is only so much information that you need to gain before you actually go into site. Twitch doing bits though and getting quite a bit of utility off of the site. It seemed like 2 Jaeger devices may have been taken out in that. That's 2 that cannot catch those nades that haven't actually really been bought on the side of Expansion. They only have 2 smoke grenades on the side of Ace. At least that means he should be able to throw 1 to waste the ADS and then throw a second to actually get the smoke down to cover the plant as required. Twitch watching the run out from Bakery there, but nobody's playing it. The Jaeger is still on the roam, but he's roaming a little bit closer. He's currently watching from the bottom of White. If only the Ace had still been watching it now, he might have been able to collect that first pick. Very slow rounds coming out here from both teams at the beginning of this. Black Angel, of course, on the defense, they have the advantage here. The longer that timer ticks down, the more pressure that the attacking team is under to get in, get that site control, and get any form of plant down. Finally, we see Expansion opening up the top red wall that will open up that part into Cigar Lounge. Apologies today, guys. I'm a little bit more tired than I was yesterday, so if my casting's a bit rough, I do apologise. I obviously used all my energy yesterday. Hopefully, though, this game is still good. And here we go. Not God on the roam has managed to net his team another opening pick. However, that is instantly answered by a pick from the Twitch onto All Eyes Mango. The Ace is getting the fan down. He's being covered by the Ying, who picks up the kill on the swinging Melusi. The diffuser has gone down. It is now a 3v2. But a C4 from below from the Cade picks up 2 of the players, and it's now a 2v1 situation with the gridlock being currently pre-fired by the Jaeger, who's playing in bedroom. Some shots land onto the Jaeger through the wall blind, but she doesn't realise they've found the diffuser. They now just have to push up and either keep this gridlock off. The gridlock picks up 1 though. It's now a 1v1 situation. Can she hold it? The Jaeger lands the shots though. She doesn't realise he's pushed up. He now takes out the track stingers. Does he have time on the diffuse? Yes, he does. He gets there in time, and Not Goz gave his team the opening pick and also gave them the round win through a 2v1 that then became a 1v1 clutch. Well done to Not God there on the Jaeger. think one of the most crucial parts of that round there was the C4 coming out from Cade, who ended up getting the flank down onto pillars, collected two of expansion teammates. They were not prepared for that. You saw the ace and the Ying basically still sound diffuse it long after it was planted. They should have got up and gotten out of there nice and quick, and we could have been seeing a very different scoreline as we head into round 6, the final attack and defense round for each of these teams. Once again, we see Black Angel going into the kitchen service site on the ground floor. This was their second site choice after winning top floor on their second time trying. Will it be quite as effective hold as last time? If they can continue getting the opening picks like they have been doing, I think that they can win this defensive matchup. However, being in a 4v5 on the attacking side can be even more difficult than being in a 4v5 on the defensive side. Certainly in my opinion anyway. I know other people maybe don't agree with me on that one, but I certainly think so. Legion going upstairs to make sure that they get that freezer hatch. We saw yesterday in the RNS versus Ice Cold esports, Ice Cold Gaming, sorry, in their matchup, several times this freezer hatch was left unreinforced, but neither team was able to capitalise on it. They have got the hard breach charger on the side of Ying though today with expansion. Will she go for that hatch take? But they also have the Cade on the board, which if placed in the right location will be able to electrify both the hatch and the back two walls, stopping the hard breach charge from getting in. Seems like the Cade's got this lined up perfectly, and there you go, both the hatch and the two walls have now been Caded. Will the side of expansion be able to get it off the wall to push it off? Once again, we see the Jaeger of Not God playing on the top floor. He's proving crucial to his team's success so far in this game. Currently sat on 9 kills.
A bomb has been located.
All eyes on Mango so far not having the best of games. 2 assists, which have proven important, but the rest of his team is able to help him towards the win. Hopefully he gets a chance to shine later on in this round, later on in this game, but we'll see. Twitch drone in sight gets taken out by the Legion, easily spotted. Does she still have another one in pocket? No, no, she does not. 2 Twitch drones wasted, but how much utility has been gained from that? A yellow ping coming out onto the Legion, who's holding a long angle into small bakery. Will he get taken out nice and quickly? Are they going to contest this angle? Looks like the Twitch tried it and may have failed. Gets lesioned as she tries to push into prep and gain that bit more of the map control. Mute swings over though after hearing the Legion mine coming off, trying to get rid of that drone that's giving away his position. Waiting for that Twitch to push in so he can try and land a headshot on her and take her out. Ace opening up the prep room wall. Giving them that angle through into the big window. But once again, the Twitch getting injured. Not quite an opening pick, but it's certainly an opening disadvantage. Here we go, the opening pick coming out from Ace onto the Legion, who swings the corner again aggressively, but straight into the path of 3 of expansion, who are all holding that long angle from small bakery all the way down to the main wall. Mute now playing aggressively in prep room against the Twitch who's trying to push there. Although red wall has now been opened, applies a bit more pressure to him. Can he remain safe here though? However, Not God still hasn't been droned out. He's playing on the top floor. His flank could once again come in crucial as long as he times this perfectly. He could net himself several kills for his team. See what happens here. I think a smoke canister lands there on the gridlock. But no, the gridlock wins the gunfight against the Jaeger, who was roaming top floor. She manages to take him out, which puts Black Angels in a 5v2 situation. Not the best odds for them at this point, I think. 15 seconds though left on the clock. If the plant cannot be got down in these final few seconds, then maybe once again we will see the win going over to Black Angel's side. However, the plant is in, going down. Where is this Cade? Is he able to land a shot? No, he's not. He gets taken out on red stairs by the gridlock, who had come down and was watching his rotate. So in round 5, the kitchen attack goes to expansion. Black Angels not quite able to get the opening pick there, and that proved crucial in winning the numbers game on previous rounds, but sadly this was not to be in the 6th round, sorry. Now we're going into round 7 with a 2-4 currently to the side of Black Angel Esports, who will be attacking for the first time. Being a 4v5 in an attacking situation could prove beneficial to them, but at the same time it could also prove very unfruitful. But they currently have the round advantage. Can they continue this run of good form and win 3 more attacking rounds back to back, or before expansion able to pull it back to 6 rounds? Only time will tell.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Expansion deciding to go on the top floor site for their first hold on this map. It's a site that we see coming out from most teams, both in ranked and Pro League. Often being compared in equal standings to the ground floor site that is in Bakery. The cap can being bought out by Kian here. Hopefully these are droned out by the side of Black Angels. Otherwise, if they leave their timings with the push until the last minute, like Expansion have been doing so far, they could get caught out by some of these Capcan traps if they're not expecting them. Seems like Capcan might also be going for a pre-placed C4 underneath electrical hatch. There it is.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse.
Can't quite see it through the floor, but it's there. It's waiting underneath the hatch. If the call comes out and somebody drops that hatch and Capcan is still alive, that could be the opening kill that Expansion need to get the momentum that they also need to start off strong on their defensive side. However, since the Twitch is on the board, if they drone out this C4, they can very easily get rid of it. They also have an IQ who will hopefully be able to spot it from the hatch with her gadget. And once it has been spotted, she'll be able to shoot it, get rid of it. And here she is checking the hatches. Will she see that C4? I don't think she's seen it yet. It'll be incredibly crucial if she's unable to shoot that C4 from out under the electrical hatch and it nets a kill for Expansion. But we'll see how this goes. Unfortunately, we have a Twitch elite here being used from Mark Chesso. This will be raised afterwards, as this is actually a banned elite skin that should not be being used by either team.
Target located. Third floor.
I'll get it mentioned after this round is over. So far, we have the Goyo playing below in reading. He is the only one on the roam, though, from Expansion. Can he net a few opening picks onto Dark Angel, which will hopefully put the numbers favour even more in the way of Expansion on this top floor site? See Legion playing Pixel at the moment. He has a Goyo shield, but it is protected by an ADS, and there aren't any grenades on the side of Black Angel able to destroy that shield. However, one of them has managed to get something onto that shield, which has now destroyed it. So they have now taken control of Cigar Lounge and Cigar Shop. The Capcan trap, though, downs the gridlock. They did not drone that out very well, and it gets picked up by a Maestro. Beautiful placement for that Maestro cam. Beautiful pickup, knowing when to hop on that cam to collect a kill, push the advantage. Here we see Black Angel currently stuck in a 2v5. Still got IQ and Thermite looking incredibly healthy on their side, but can they push the advantage into sight in a 2v5 situation? It's going to be very difficult. There is still one C4 in play that is going to be in the hands of the Goyo, who will be playing below in Pillar. Will he be able to pick it up? They seize the Legion and he swings and he shoots. Injured in the bathroom, goes for the knife but the reload, but then gets the refrag as the Jaeger swings from inside Freezer, and now we're left in a 1v4 situation. It is not looking good here for the Thermite. Can he get the picks that he needs to win this round? Probably not, because Goyo is still holding from below. Starts shooting through an angle in the floor. Doesn't land the shots on the Capcan, and the Goyo picks up the kill. The Capcan lands the headshots, apologies, from the new cocktail bout onto the Thermite. I'm just going to get the timer quickly paused in this next pick phase to make sure that we are not running the elite skin on any Twitch, should it be bought again on the side of Black Angels. apologies for the slight delay, but unfortunately the Twitch Elite is currently banned in the league rules, so this needs to be switched off of. Now that's been done, we can restart. Both teams were given a warning about both skins and the rules before the game started, so that was the first strike. If we see them using a banned skin again, we may have to take firmer action. Perfect.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
A tight game here coming out between Expansion and Black Angel Esports, despite the fact that Black Angel are one member down due to a technical difficulty faced by one of their roster. The clash coming out on the side of Expansion, played by the Oni Rune. Are they going to be extending out into Bakery? They certainly have the numbers for it compared with Black Angel, who didn't really hold Bakery all that well on the downstairs site, mainly because they just don't have the numbers advantage to be able to commit so many bodies to that side of the map.
5 seconds to insertion.
Once again, the Capcan coming out from the side of Expansion. It proved relatively crucial in the previous round, netting them a down, which was then followed up by the Maestro securing the kill onto that gridlock that was downed as she entered into Cocktail Lounge. Newt being the main wall denial on the side of Expansion, stopping the side of Black Angel getting into sight. They only have the Thermite though, who may not necessarily be the best pick for hard breach here. He can only get 2 walls open, and they are big effing holes when they are opened up. However, he actually has to be physically in contact with the wall to be able to put his Thermite breach down, and this means he's quite liable to be swung if he doesn't have friendlies supporting him. Currently we see the Capcan of Kian being played in Reading Room. He's the only one on the road, but the Legion gets picked off nice and early by the Jackal of Marchezo. He was playing at the top of White near Planks. Easily picked off there, so now it's in a 4v4, and this is what team Black Angel Esports need to get an advantage. Thermite has a goo in his leg, manages to prone on the floor and pull it out. He's winning this gunfight currently. The Capcan being left on dangerously low health. Who will come out on top though? Do they know where the Capcan is? They have a player on the other side of the wall. Will they pre-fire through the wall? I'm not quite sure. The Zoff playing it very cautiously, doesn't know how much health he is on or exactly where he is. The Capcan's holding the angle though. She sees the head, she shoots him straight in the face and bring it back to a 3v3. The Clash has come up the red stairs though briefly, just to apply a bit of pressure onto Black Angel playing above. He's now falling back into sight now that the Capcan has died in Reading. Now you see Sledge being played by Not God here, opening up the floor, trying to get those vertical angles into the sight. See if he can get some picks for his team through them. The C4 coming out, just grazing the hairs on his butt there, managing to not take any damage from it. Frightening Clash off there with a grenade, since there's no Jaeger on the board that would be able to soak up that grenade. So she wisely falls back, decides, I'm not going to contest that, I'm going back into Bakery. Biding their time, there's 45 seconds left on the board. Can Expansion hold on to the site control that they currently have and stop the plant coming in from Black Angel? Sadly not, as the Sledge swings and manages to get the mute. The Zoff is outside Freezer, trying to get shots onto the Maestro, who rotates round. He falls back in sight to link up with the Clash. If the two of them play together, they could still have this in the bag, a 2v3, but with a Clash. The Clash is still over in Bakery though. She has to drop her shield, pushes in while the plant goes down from the Thermite in behind the bomb in Freezer. Clash now pushes in. It's a 1v3 situation. Only got the pistol though, she does not have the SMG. This is going to be very difficult clutch to pull off, but if she does it, it'll be incredibly impressive. Clash now left on 1 health, trying the quick peek there, but manages to miss the shots. Sophia pushing up very close and manages to easily win that gunfight against the Clash. Well played on the side of Black Angel. Once again managing to get those opening picks that prove crucial in the player numbers game. Winning out overall by still having 3 players alive when the plant starts to go down, and only having to face off against a Clash who is only armed with the pistol. for their second defensive site. We see Expansion going back to kitchen service, kitchen cooking again. See if they can hold it slightly better than they did on the previous round. Once again, a very similar setup coming out from Black Angel Esports. Bringing the Thermite as their main form of hard breach, who also has Diffuser. A Jackal coming out to hopefully clear out that roam. Sledge for some vertical play, and the Zoff for some utility burn. Overall, a very good team composition, knowing that they are currently stuck in a 4v5. Let's see if it plays out just as well as it did for them on the previous round, where Marquez on the Jackal managed to get a pick early onto the Legion, who was roaming top floor. Very similar setup coming out of Expansion here on the downstairs kitchen site. Once again, their only wall denial being the mute. Relatively easy to get off. They've got nades, and certainly with bringing the Sledge along on the side of Black Angel Esports, they can open up the floor in Freezer and easily shoot out that mute jammer, which is, I believe, what they did last time to get that wall open.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Capcan being bought once again, slightly less crucial in the last round as he was on the round before. Maybe Black Angels have become wise to the tricks of Capcan. And here we see Jaeger getting a cheeky little spawn peek onto the Zoff, shutting Penta down nice and early, giving his team that even bigger numbers advantage than they already had. Once again, though, we see the remaining players from Black Angel going to the top floor, getting that top floor clear. Jackal going, you know what? I'm going to take those hatches away from you, Sledge. You don't need any more points. I've got a shotgun that does the job just as well as you, can even do it a little bit quicker. So Sledge just ends up swinging in absolute air. As we can see, though, this time, no players on the side of Expansion playing on the top floor. Completely giving it up this time. In fact, nobody even playing on the second floor. The entire team is situated in on site, apart from the Legion that is playing close in Cloakroom. Is this what they now need to do, knowing that they're currently in a 5v3 situation? Keep their team as healthy as possible, while they just waste time with Black Angels just clearing out the top floor and preparing to push down. The longer they take on this clear, though, the less time they will have to execute onto site, and with all members of Expansion currently sat inside, it's going to be very hard to get those opening picks that they require to push in and get the plant down in the last few remaining parts of the round. Once again, we see Jackal here opening up a vertical angle onto the player below. He's managed to get a Jackal track, but the player has now moved from that position. I don't think he's got the mute jammer off the wall, though, so that wall is still safe from the Thermite, who is still playing above. On the side of Expansion, we see most of the players still sitting in sight. Jaeger maybe getting a bit bold and just going into Bakery, but Expansion definitely have the numbers advantage here, and they're playing it well by just relaxing and cheering. Now that mute jammer comes off the freezer wall as Thermite goes to open it up. Maestro going for the impact trick, though. There wasn't a pre-placed hole there, so his impact just explodes on the wall and doesn't actually destroy the Thermite on the opposite side. Jackal takes a little bit of damage from above while trying to peek some of his angles that he's holding. Thermite getting into a gunfight with the Legion that he's seen in Cloakroom. Will he be able to win this out? It's still a 3v5 with only 20 seconds on the clock. Black Angels need to pull something need to pull a win out, something special out here to hopefully get the win under their belt. Sadly, though, it seems like the numbers advantage is just not going to fall their way. But the first kill comes out from the Jackal onto the Legion, and he manages to down another in Small Bakery. But the Thermite with the Diffuser unfortunately gets downed. So sadly, time will run out on the side of Black Angels, who were not able to get into sight and get the plant down. Well played there on the side of Expansion, managed to get the numbers advantage early with a nice pick from Jaeger. An even greater numbers advantage than they are already at. And from there, they just played cool, calm, played the clock down, which meant that all that was left open for Black Angels to do was try and rush into sight, which, as you saw, resulted in 2 deaths, falling the way of Black Angels, and sadly also the round loss, as they were not able to stick that diffuser. Here we are going into round 10, this time expansion moving back to the top floor and bar and cocktail lounge. Once again we see exactly the same setup coming from Black Angels. Seems they're pretty happy with the setup. The hard breach of thermites being brought along with the Jackal, the Sledge and the Zoff. Good mix of utility there, hard breach, and also just roam clear. But once again, because they are in the numbers advantage, there isn't necessarily too much that they have to deal with in regards to the roam. So we'll see what happens here. The quick check of the scores shows us that currently the Jackal and Sledge on the side of Black Angels are doing bits for their team, and part of the reason why they're currently sat on 5-4 at round 10. Sadly, nothing come out yet from the side of All Eyes on Mango. Has not been able to pick up a kill yet on this map. Cafe has proven to be quite a difficult map for several players today. We saw Saint from RNS yesterday popping off on Oregon with, I believe, 13 kills by the end of the game. However, he only managed to net a total of 3 on Cafe. And one of the other players from Ice Cold Esports, who played relatively well on the Oregon, helping them net that win, unfortunately was not able to net any more than 1 kill on Cafe. It seems that Cafe seems to be some of these players' kryptonite, and at the moment they can't seem to play it. Currently we see the Sledge of Not God playing on the rappel, looking over to Pixel, but decides better of it, especially because he needs to open these hatches for his team. Sophia takes a large amount of damage there from a C4 thrown out by the Goyo through the skylights. She's now on 35 health, if that. Sees the Capcan trap though. Once again, Capcan being quite a major staple on the side of expansion, which, since they have the numbers advantage, is probably a wise choice, because if they manage to delay Black Angels long enough and they rush into sight, these Capcans can come in incredibly useful at taking large chunks of damage, or health should I say, off of the players on the side of Black Angels. Thermite manages to open a wall somewhere. Apologies, I missed that. He's managed to drop red, and he's opened up the top of red wall into Cigar Lounge. 1 Thermite charge left. Which wall are they going to go for? Are they going to open the bathroom? Are they going to open the freezer? We don't quite know yet. Jackal pushing in with some drone support though into Cigar Lounge, trying to see if anybody's going to peek in from Pixel, but he gets a goo in his leg which reveals his position to the Legion. Sadly nothing can happen. However, Maestro Cam watching the angle, and also a shield on Pixel. Can the Jackal push the advantage here? 11 kills on the board so far. Marchez has been doing work for his team. Let's see if he can continue to do this. Both teams playing quite passively around one another. The Thermite going down on the bar wall to open that up, to give them the option to go for default plant spot right at the end of the bar here. There's also a Goyo shield that is currently watching the other default plant on minibar. Goyo is still playing below on pillars. Sadly though, he has used his C4 to do all that damage onto the Zoff on the hatch, so he can still play below, but that C4 potential has been removed. And here we see All Eyes on Mango going in for the default plant. What's going to happen here? The C4 coming out from the Capcan, but the plant gets down all the same. Capcan left on the tiny slither of health. Can Black Angel manage to secure this one? As Jackal gets shot through the breach hole that they made, the Zoff doesn't quite... Does she realise that the Jaeger is right behind? It's now a 3v2 situation. The Maestro going to stick this diffuser though. Gets taken down by the Zoff, who's on the tiny slither of health. And now all of a sudden it's a 2v1 in the favour of Black Angels. Can they win this out? No, the Jaeger manages to swing and land the kill on the Zofia. Sledge is on half health, the timer is ticking down. Can Jaeger win? No, he cannot. The SMG-11 coming out clutch there for Not God on the Sledge. Killing the Jaeger and securing the round, which was an incredibly close one again on the side of Black Angel Esports. Black Angel Esports now find themselves on match point, 6 rounds to 4, despite the numbers disadvantage that they've been at for this game. Does this mean that for the second game that we go to, where we see them playing on Clubhouse, does this mean when they get their 5th member of their roster in, that the score line is going to differ vastly, or are these teams going to be evenly matched on the second map? What do we think? Sadly, it's too early to tell, and we'll see when we move into the second map after this one is finished. But first, and most importantly, we need to focus on this map, get it done and dusted, which is currently looking like it might be in favour of Black Angels. I didn't call this one at the very beginning. I thought that expansion would have had it with that numbers advantage, but sadly,
Attackers need to locate and
Black Angel managed to get the defense side first, managed to get the wins that they needed early on, and now the few attacks they have been able to win that have been incredibly close have meant that they are currently sat on that match point, ready to take the first map win. For those of you just joining the stream and who have no idea about how this league is set up, currently we have 10 teams playing for, well, who's going to be crowned best in this EU league. So far, we have seen 4 games played so far between 8 different teams. We have had many different results. We've had some close games, we've had some cakewalks, and so far today, this game has been quite a close one. For every round that is played between 2 teams is a best of 2. If you win said best of 2, you get 3 points towards your score. If you draw the best of 2 series, then each team gets 1 point, and if you lose the best of 2, unfortunately you get 0 points. Currently we have 2 teams sat with a win apiece on 3 points, and we currently have 4 teams sat with a draw. What do we think this series is going to come out? Are we going to see a 3rd team joining with 3 points on the board, or are we going to see 2 more joining with 1 point each across the board? I think it's too early to tell at this point, but certainly Black Angel esports in the driving seat here with the first team to reach match point. Can Expansion turtle hard enough to get this win under their belt? Playing a lot more on site, they're certainly turtling harder on this round. They have the cap can again, hopefully proving quite useful, but with less of a roam than last time. This may be their undoing. We'll have to wait and see. Once again, Black Angel opting for the cigar lounge take. The thermite opening up the wall. Jackal getting the footprints there. Cigar lounge seems to be pinging Capcom, I believe, or maybe Maestro. The Legion pushing up close on Pixel, but the Jackal playing this super aggressive, trying to get the pick onto the Legion, who is playing in bathroom. How does Legion play this? A smoke canister coming out to defend against him. Legion currently lying on the floor, just waiting for time. And Thermite getting the wall open once again for that default plant spot. Black Angel have managed to get a lot of map control here. Hopefully this means they can go in and once again get that plant down, which has proven so crucial in the previous round. But no, the Jaeger lands a perfect headshot onto Mango, who went for the default plant spot as before. It's now a 3v5 situation, and Diffuser is down at default. Black Angels have to secure this Diffuser before they can even try and go for the plant again. And the smoke with the SMG-11 absolutely destroys the Jackal of Marches. One smoke canister being burnt there. And Maestro has dropped, and he's going for the cheekiest flank I've ever seen, up red. I don't think Black Angels realise he's here. If he times this well, he can maybe net himself 2 kills and the round win for Expansion. But no, he doesn't see the Claymore on red stairs. Sophia's Claymore obviously wakes up, goes down to secure that kill, make sure he cannot be picked up. But this leave Sledge all on his own, sadly missing some of his rounds with the SMG-11 and coming off worse for wear in that SMG-11 fight. However, the Zoff manages to pick up another kill as she pushes into Freezer, but is quickly refragged by the Legion playing in bathroom. It's now up to a 1v3 on Not God playing the Sledge, who misses the Legion playing in bathroom, and Legion takes him out. Pretty decisive win there for Expansion. As soon as they managed to pick off Mango, who was going for the plant behind the first bar box, unfortunately it meant that the round was basically over at that point. Despite a couple of nice little picks on the side of Black Angels, they were not able to bring back that man deficit that they are in at the moment. And they managed to, and unfortunately they lost the round, which brings Expansion 1 point closer to equaling this one. We've had a disconnect, unfortunately, from one of the members of Expansion, so I'm just going to quickly pause the timer while he reconnects. And while this small break is happening, while we get the member of Expansion to join back in, I'm going to use this to have a quick break myself. I'll be back in one second. And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. The player from Flaming Heck, I've forgotten the name already. From Expansion will be joining back shortly. Once they're back in the lobby, we'll be getting this next round underway. Currently, we've seen a very back and fro between these two teams. Currently, Black Angels, of course, win it, or are leading it, should I say, on 6-5. Despite having the numbers disadvantage, they've managed to get the early picks on several of the rounds that have proven crucial to evening that numbers advantage. As soon as they have this numbers advantage, often they've managed to roll with it and secure any further kills and get into sight, get that plant down. But certainly on attack, the last few rounds we've seen where they've managed to trip over and fall in Expansion and pulled it back is where they lose that numbers advantage. An early pick comes out. For example, in the last round, the Jaeger managed to get a beautiful headshot onto the Thermite. It was trying to plant default plant spot. That was crucial for the opening pick. Meant that, firstly, Black Angels were left in a 3v5 situation, which is already very bad numbers. And on top of this, the diffuser was down at default plant spot. They needed to pick this up and go for it. They still had time on the clock, but sadly the picks just did not come out. And in the end, it fell to a 3v1 with very little health on the side of the sledge and very little time on the clock. And Legion managed to pick up that final kill. Fortunately, though, the member of Expansion that unfortunately disconnected at the end of last round did happen at a time when we can pause it, so we can wait for them to join back into the lobby. They may be having to do just a quick restart of their game though, so please bear with while this happens. While we sit in chat though and have a little bit of a break, how is everybody doing in chat? I see some pogs in chat coming out from Franco. How is everybody else doing today? Ready for the weekend? While we sit and wait, for those of you that weren't actually here for the very beginning of the stream, I'll just quickly run through the current league standings at the moment. At the very top of the league, after winning decisively, well not necessarily decisively, but managing to win their games against Paradox Gaming, Counteract currently have 3 points. Closely followed behind by RZP, who won their games against Team Lethal, also sat on 3 points. RNS, Ice, Tempo and Zodiac all sat with 1 point apiece, as both of those teams drew in their games. At the very bottom of the league though, currently we have Paradox Gaming and Team Lethal currently sat with 0 points, as sadly they were not able to win their best of 2s. The member of Expansion has now joined back into the lobby, so we'll be getting back underway shortly. Timer is being unpaused. Let's go and see if Black Angels are able to secure the first map win, or whether Expansion will be able to take it into overtime, where we will see which of these two teams will come out on top. Black Angels have certainly showed a little bit more coordination and a little bit more finesse. The fact that they've been able to win so many rounds, despite the fact that they're in a 4v5 situation. However, at the end of the day, a man advantage is always more likely to win out compared to just strategies alone. And unfortunately, we see ourselves at the 6-5 round standings because of that very fact.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Once again, we see Expansion going all the way down into the kitchen site, bringing the same setup as they have done on previous occasions where they have managed to win this. Overall as well, we'll have a look at the kills so far. Well spread kills across the side of Expansion, all managing to pick up kills and assists where required to bring them the 5 wins that they've managed so far. But on the side of Black Angels, we see 3 of the players absolutely killing it, 12, 10 and 12 apiece. But sadly at the moment, Mango currently sat with 0 kills. The thing is though, Mango on the Thermite has been able to do his role every single round. He's got the walls open that he's needed to survive long enough, and several times he's managed to get the plant down as well, which has proved crucial for Black Angels' wins. However, if he's able to maybe pick up a few more kills on these following rounds, maybe this round in fact, if they're able to net a few more kills, then maybe this could be the difference maker. and could see Black Angels walk away with the first map win of this best of 2 series. Once again, a similar push that we've seen from Black Angels on every single time they've done this previously. Taking the top floor, lots of drone work being done. Starting from the top and working down. Once again though, from expansion, very little on the roam. In fact, once again, the only roam that we see is the Legion playing in coat check. As long as Black Angels know that this is what the setup is going to be, they can be a little bit quicker on the top floor take, slowly pushing down, making sure they've cleared all the floors, and then maybe they can start getting these picks as they push a bit further. Once again, the sledge being bought by Not God, looking like he's probably going to be playing those vertical angles into sight. Problem with vertical angles though is they work both ways, and although you might be able to shoot down onto the player beneath you, the player beneath you can sometimes shoot back up, and the Jaeger is stuck on his campsite there, but the sledge doesn't see him. The easiest pick of his entire siege career, and the sledge manages to miss the Jaeger there, just sat on his drone, who's now safely away into Bakery. Unfortunately, Sledge doesn't get the benefits of the blue outline that we get in our little cast here, so unfortunately he probably wasn't able to see the tiny bit of his foot, bit of the corner of Jaeger's foot sticking out there. Maybe if he had, they would have been able to get the opening pick, which is what has proven so crucial to Black Angels on these previous rounds, where they've been able to get the wins. As you can see, those Sledge opening a lot of the floor, with a bit of help coming out from Jackal with his shotgun as well. Mute's playing with a bit of a C4 from below though, seeing what's going to happen here. Listening out for where the next Sledge will come out and seeing if he can pick up a kill with the C4. However, with his gun not out, Sledge might be able to see his feet and might be able to secure the pick that is required to open this game. This round. Once again, Thermite has done his job and he's got the freezer wall open. From here, it looks like Black Angels are going to be doing a push into freezer. However, they have the opposition of a Maestro and a Capcan playing close, with likely a Capcan on the door into freezer. No, if there was, it has now been destroyed. Most members of Expansion realising that the freezer push is most likely here, and 3 of them rotating over to this freezer side by the B-bomb. Sophia not realising that there's still a Capcan on the board and runs through and takes out. And here we go, Mango has managed to get the first pick, first kill of the game, and he managed it. Sophia also getting a pick onto the Capcan. The diffuser is going down on the side of Mango. He gets the diffuser down. We're now in a 3v1 situation. Legion is going on the rotate on the flank. He manages to get the kill. He manages to get the Zoff as well. The double kill is netting. The Sledge is still playing above though. The defuse is going off by the Legion. Can the Sledge get here in time to deny this defuse? Will he land the shot in time? No, he won't, and Expansion managed to get the defuse off before the Sledge can get back down to counter it. This means we're now going into overtime. 6 rounds apiece to both of these teams. Currently going into overtime here on the first map of the day. Expansion versus Black Angels Esports. Black Angel, of course, getting the advantage early, getting on that match point, but Expansion managing to pull back 2 rounds in a row on their defensive side to mean that they bring it now into overtime. Whichever team is the first to reach 8 at this point will now be crowned the winner of this first map. Black Angels getting the side of defense for their first overtime round, and deciding to go for the top floor site. Hopefully Expansion works well on their time management here, as previously that due to the man deficit as well on the side of Black Angels, they've still been able to win their defensive rounds against Expansion just due to the time that it's taken. We saw one round even come down to a bandit being left alive here, playing behind the bar, who managed to pick off the Capitao that was planting at default. There's only 1 man left alive on the side of Black Angel Esports, but 1 man is enough as long as you kill the one defusing, and that is exactly what he did. Malusi seen here, maybe going for a bit of a spawn peek, certainly breaking the window, but no spawn peek coming out from the Malusi right now. Oh, she's going back to it. No, she's just going to play in Cigar Lounge. Here I was hoping to see a bit of a spawn peek. All eyes on Mango, not necessarily on the best of games here. He's only got 1 kill to his name so far with 11 deaths. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is looking completely the opposite way around with 12 kills for each of them. Probably the one showing up most crucially, is Not God, having only died in 5 of the rounds so far that we've seen played. Jaeger of Not God once again being on this very, very wide roam, a long, long way away from sight. It's worked for them before. Will it work again, or have Expansion become wise to the plays of Black Angels and they're ready for it? Once again, we see Expansion being incredibly cautious. 1 minute so far on the timer has gone and nobody's really in sight. We've even still got a few people still in spawn. We have the Zoff of Madgun still all the way in spawn, playing on one of the towers, watching to see if he can get any picks from that position. Sadly, nobody has walked in front of his crosshairs, so he's not able to get any. Not God once again still playing on the red stairs, almost all the way down on the first floor, watching a very long angle onto the red hatch, waiting for a member of Expansion to drop or peek that, and hopefully getting the early pick, which has netted them so many of these wins so far. 2 members of Expansion are currently playing that. Do they realise that the Jaeger is down here? Sadly, it's such a tight angle that no one has actually walked across it on the side of Expansion. Once again, playing a very long and slow game here. It could work in their favour if they're able to execute flawlessly. However, as we've seen so far, sometimes their execution can be thwarted on the side of Black Angels. If it comes down to just a few seconds on the clock again, we'll have to see whether Expansion are able to get the plant down or whether they're able to frag out in a 5v4 situation. Once again, every operator, Hibana has managed to just drop the hatch, and they finally got the first person on site, as it were, with 49 seconds left on the clock. Get the Cade off the wall. Hibana is currently playing Cigar Lounge. See the Jaeger still playing on the red stairs, probably waiting for his moment to flank up. Ying rotating round, ready to go on the white cocktail window. They're now getting a bit more presence into Cigar Lounge, but they've only got 25 seconds left on the clock. How exactly is this game going to play out? I don't think they really have enough map control here to necessarily push the plant here, but Mango takes a bit of damage there from the Hibana as Ace swings in through the smoke. But Cade lands the first kill. He still has a C4 in pocket. He can go for the default plant spot if this is called out on him. He sees the gridlock, he shoots her, but that's a solid pillar, and the C4 comes out. Doesn't kills the man defusing, but sadly the diffuser gets popped down already. Zoff manages to pick up another kill, and here comes the Zoff up white stairs. Do they know that she's here? It's a 3v3 situation though, and Expansion are looking slightly less healthy than the side of Black Angels. The Cade hears the Ying, who manages to take him down on white stairs. The plant is down though, and there's 20 seconds. The Melusi starts trying to stick it, however they've got an angle through the floor. It's now a 1v3 situation. Can the Melusi win this one? Lands the shots on Gridlock. She's a hefty boy, manages to hit them, but doesn't see the Ying swinging for Freezer. And Expansion managed to win it. A very close one here. If that C4 had come out only a second earlier from that Cade playing in Freezer, then that plant would not have gone down and this round would have gone a very different way. However, the man advantage proving incredibly fruitful on the side of Expansion, managing to clutch it out there. It did come very close and down to the wire though, and it was good to see that Ace, I believe, playing from below on the diffuser once it had been planted. Not Ace, sorry, Ace died. I believe it may have been Captau. Once again, we see that these two teams swap roles. We have Expansion back on the defensive, and Black Angels going back on the attack. Expansion deciding to go for the bar cocktail lounge hold, bringing a similar setup to what they've done before. This cap can proving quite crucial and quite pivotal in most of their setups, being bought by Kian. Currently, once again, all the kills being shared quite evenly on the side of Expansion. However, Mango still struggling to net a few kills here. He's still had an impact on most of the rounds that he's played. However, those kills could have proven even more crucial, especially with the numbers disadvantage that Black Angels are in. If he'd managed to net just a few more kills, maybe a couple of rounds would have gone their way and this match would have already been over. Sadly though, it is not, and we now sit with Expansion on match overtime, match points, after for 2 rounds it was Black Angels who were sat in this very same position, just not in overtime. Once again, it seems Expansion are going for the very sort of turtle hold approach, keeping most of their people inside. Once again, we see the Goyo roaming below. That C4 in pocket, hopefully able to pick up a member of Black Angels as they try and push the default plant. However, if he gets droned out, then maybe getting a pick onto that operator would be quite crucial. Black Angels getting onto the roof nice and quick, not wasting too much time at it. Once again, Jackal stealing these hatch openings from the sledge, taking away those points with the shotgun. Drones going in from both sides. Plenty of people on their drones here, getting as much intel as they can on the red stairs. Once again, doing an incredibly similar push to what we've seen coming out of them before. It has netted them a win in the past, but will this round result in a win for Black Angels? They need it to stay in this game. Otherwise, unfortunately, as well as them being at a numbers disadvantage, they're going to lose this. You see Zofia there taking out one of the Maestro cams underneath electrical hatch with her impacts. Zofia still got her Claymore in pocket, not quite sure which run out or red stair she's going to cover. And we still see the likes of the only room playing below Azagoyo in Train Museum. Maestro cam still remains, and as soon as I say that, Commentator's Curse, it gets taken out by the Zofia with her impact nade. However, she has now used all impact nades, and there's still a shield playing on Pixel at the end of 90. A Claymore going aggressively on it though to try and pick anybody who tries to swing that angle. A nade coming out from Sledge, trying to bounce it into the bathroom where the Legion is holding once again. Simon drone coming out. Thermite opening up the same wall that they have done every time, trying to open up their options to go for the default plant spot. But a hole in the floor, it seems that an impact nade may have been wasted to destroy that Goyo shield that was previously sat there. Coming into the last 45 seconds now. No picks across the board yet from either side. Black Angels need to get a pick to put the numbers in their advantage. And Mango manages to just slightly catch the foot of the Goyo, but doesn't manage to net himself the kill. They realise he's below though, so Sledge drops the Train Museum hatch. He's aggressively pushing onto this Goyo below. Gets some picks. And Mango once again goes to try and get the plant, but sadly he isn't able to do this. Upstairs we see the Jackal getting injured. Sophia not quite winning her gunfights here. Also getting taken down by the cap count on Cocktail Bout. It's now a 1v4 situation with the Sledge pushing in, manages to down the Jaeger and Freezer, but unfortunately the numbers game is never a fair game. And a 4v1 turned into a 4v none as Expansion win out the first map. Well played to both teams there in this first game. Managing to put on quite the show despite the fact that Dark Angels were a man down for the entire game. They managed to get to match point, but sadly Expansion clawed it back to overtime match point, which is where they made the difference and managed to pull through for the win. The second map we will go to in this best of two series will be onto Clubhouse. So please join us in the next 10-15 minutes when we will be going straight into that. Hopefully, we will also have a 5-man on the side of Expansion. So we'll see whether the match result is any different. Thank you for tuning in so far. If you're new to my Twitch channel, please consider dropping a follow. It certainly helps me out. Might save my voice as well. Goodness me. But for now, please enjoy a short 10-minute break. A short 10-minute break? 10 minutes is 10 minutes. Please enjoy a 10-minute break and we'll be back with Clubhouse as the second map. Hello and welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me for the second game in this best of two series between Expansion and Black Angels Esports. We're currently having a small break for both myself and the players before we go into the second map of Clubhouse. Hopefully this time Black Angel Esports will now be able to field a team of 5 because the member of their roster who has been having some technical difficulties today, hopefully these will now all be resolved, allowing them to have a full 5-man to go into this second map. Expansion, though, having the numbers advantage in the first game on Cafe, managed to pull the game out of the bag. It looked like it was a said and done deal to Black Angels. However, Expansion, despite Black Angels being on a 6-4 lead at one point, managed to pull it back to overtime and then managed to win 2 rounds on the trot to clinch the victory in overtime. That was 4 rounds in a row there from Expansion. Very well played. Managed to get the better of Black Angels, knowing that they were at a man disadvantage. We should be starting the next game at around 15:15, so feel free to hop out of the stream for a little bit and then join us in a little while once we get into the second game. Be sure though, if you're new to the stream though and fancy seeing more of this content or wanting to know when I next go live, either with some ranked gameplay or casting some more of these games, hopefully in a duo cast rather than just on my own, I don't think my voice could take it anymore, then please consider dropping a follow onto my Twitch. It'll help me out a lot, and with just a few more I may even be able to get affiliated, which would be brilliant. So thank you all very kindly if you do just drop a follow. It's greatly appreciated. So far this stream I can see that we've had 3 new followers, the like of Mars, MAZR6S, Syncon455 and DAO4Car or Dakar. Apologies if I'd absolutely butchered your usernames. I will do better next time. Hello, Interbred. Hello, Stephen. I see you there in chat. Who else have we got in chat currently? We currently have 7 viewers watching. Woo, got a shout out. Let's go. The second game of this best of 2 series will be going to Clubhouse, and starting on the attacking side we will have Black Angel Esports. So defense will first fall to Expansion. However, this time we should see full rosters on both sides. We're just waiting for the 5th member of Black Angels to join, and once they're in we will start the game at around 9:15. So far we've seen some very good siege out of these 2 teams, being very evenly matched despite the man advantage on the side of Black Angels in the first game on Cafe. Once again it ends up being the numbers game. More bodies on the team will often result in a game win, so that first pick is very crucial, but on the side of Expansion they could play things a little bit more cautious since they didn't have to get that first pick because there wasn't a member of the team to play against. However, when they did get the pick, of course, it puts them in even greater advantage. They're currently then in a 3v5 situation, and they certainly exploited this to the greatest extent. However, Black Angels in several of their wins managed to net themselves the first kill of the game, which meant that it was an equal 4v4, and from there they pushed forward to get the round wins. Sadly, they got themselves onto match point though, going 6-4. But were not able to fully execute on the attacking side to get the victory there and then. Upon reaching overtime, we saw Expansion kick it up a notch, and they managed to pull back and win 8-6. Will the second map be as close now that we have 2 full rosters against each other? Who knows, it's a different map, anything can happen. Do let me know what you think the predictions may be in the chat. And if you're in the Discord, there is also a predictions channel. So feel free to pop over there and drop your predictions in there, both for the games that have happened so far this week, this game that is currently ongoing, and of course for moving forward, the games running into next week. Currently the placements and games for next week have not quite been released yet by the league owner Connor. However, as soon as I find out these, if I find them out by the end of the stream, I will let you all know. No times have yet been agreed on the side of the teams, so we will release these in the Discord, and for those of you that are interested, make sure you give both myself a follow and some of the other casters on the league. I will try and share their Twitches towards the end. I think we've got Twitch, twitch.tv/SweeneyTree. I think we also have Arrogant JB. We also have Connors, which I can't remember the other one. There we go. We're currently just waiting for one of the expansion team members to join back. And once they're in, as long as both teams are ready, we will go into the second map of this best of 2 series. Once everyone's back into the lobby, we will go for game number 2 on Clubhouse. To reiterate, we have the side of Black Angels Esports on the attack and the blue team of expansion on defense. So apologies if it gets confusing for those of you that are used to seeing, of course, orange on defense and blue on attack. Swapped around this time because the teams have decided to change it, but I've kept the colours the same so as not to confuse myself. We're just having a slight connectivity issue between the remaining player of expansion. They're currently just doing an app restart, so please bear with us while we get them back into the lobby. As soon as they're with us, they will go straight into the next game. If you're watching the stream right now and you know of anybody who will want to be watching the second game, then please drop them a message on the social medias and let them know to come back, because we're going to be going into game number 2 very shortly. Apologies if I talk a little bit less in this second half. My voice is getting a little bit croaky, and unfortunately, despite drinking a lot of water, it's not really going away, so I may have to cut down on so much waffle. However, I'll still try and give you the play-by-play cast as best as I can, and hopefully starting from next week we'll try and get some more duo casts in here, so it's not just one lonely little person, i.e. me, or any of the other solo casters that have done such a magnificent job so far in this first week. Fingers crossed we will get a couple of duo casts going, and from there we will be able to get we'll be able to cast a few more games without losing our voice, which is the way it sounds like it's going for me. It's going to be a quiet quiet evening and weekend for my family, it seems, if my voice does go by the end of this. However, I will try and keep it in play until the end of this game. At that point, I'll then be allowed to keel over and pass out. Just sending a fresh invite to the 5th player of expansion. Here he is back in the lobby. All players are now present and correct as we head into game number 2 of this best of 2 series between expansion and Black Angels Esports. The map is Clubhouse. Let's go. Moving into the pick and ban phase. Pretty standard bans come out so far from both teams. Thatcher being the main one, getting instantly banned off on the side of Cafe. Not necessarily the most crucial ban on the Cafe, but certainly on Clubhouse. He is often a major pick for most teams, so let's see if he gets banned out once again. No, the Maverick instead gets banned out. Maverick, very useful for getting the hatches when you play the downstairs sites, but also very useful in getting those walls open on both Jacuzzi and CC. When I say CC, I mean CCTV. The CCTV room is just quicker to say CC for those of you that are unaware of the call out. Do give us a shout in the chat if you are unfamiliar with any of the Siege terms that I'm using in this cast. I'm often referring to some stuff that is personal team call-outs and maybe those that are used in Pro League streams. So if you're struggling to understand what on earth I'm on about, feel free to drop a message into the chat and one of our mods will come along and help you with that one. The Jackal and the Caveira ban coming out on the side of Dark Angel Esports. Jackal being mainly used though on the side of Dark Angel, but now wanting to get it off the board, but also getting Caveira. Once again, the bans coming out by the middle team, seeming a little bit strange on this one. Malusi being the final pick, obviously not wanting to face the Vibe alarms once again. This being picked off by Expansion. First round we're going to see Expansion going to is the CCTV cash room site on the top floor. It's a site used by most people. Thatcher has been left open for probably one of the first times this season. I think the only other time we've seen Thatcher still available was in the Paradox versus Counteract game on Tuesday. I believe that Thatcher was not banned in that map and came in quite pivotal. On this very map, in fact, on Clubhouse. Those in chat that of course know the result from those games, do correct me if I'm wrong with any of these stats or stuff off the top of my head.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
And here we are going into the first game. Is this going to be such an equal matchup as we saw previously, or now that the full roster from Dark Angel Esports has now been made available, will we see a much more one-sided game? Only time will tell on this one. Once again, the Capcan coming out from Kian. Seems that this is one of his main operators. Will Dark Angel be able to counter this, or will they be too delayed on their pushes and will the Capcan come in crucial? He certainly did a couple of times on the Cafe. Will he on this map of Clubhouse?
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Capcan seems to be going for a bit of a roam. Whether he's still going to set up a couple of Capcan traps, I don't quite know. Everybody else staying mostly near sites. You've got Bandit, who's probably going to be playing the wall. Nobody seems to be playing the garage, though, on the side of Expansion. Thermite and Thatcher, though, going for the wall. Looks like Bandit's going to be tricking it. Are they going to try and get him off this wall, though? Claymore being set outside the garage on the pretty standard run out. In the bright light, though, from the sun, it's very hard to see those Claymore lines, so sometimes you think there's a Claymore, sometimes you don't, and you get shot. Almost all the walls in garage have been reinforced, bar one. Our last reinforcement going somewhere else, more useful. Here you see the Thatcher and the Thermite ready to go. Thatcher throwing out a second one to try and counter the trick. Will they be able to get it? Nope, but the Bandit tricks it perfectly. Is that all three of Thatcher's? That's all three of Thatcher's EMPs gone. And one Thermite charge left. But sadly, if the Bandit is going to stick on it, they need to get the Bandit off this wall another way. Thatcher going to be contesting, and currently we see the Sledge, Ace and Nomad managing to take this construction control. Nobody really much on the flank. Getting the construction wall open with the Ace charges. Thatcher playing on the CC window. Trying to get that Bandit off the wall. Can they get him off and get this early pick and then open the main wall? Sees the Bandit peeking out but doesn't manage to land any shots on him. Neither side taking much damage here. Thermite's taking a tiny little bit of damage, but I believe this was mostly from the Bandits on the wall. The Bandit now being put into incredibly low health from the Thermite, who is on repel here. Construction control still being had on the side of Dark Angels. Nomad watching the flank coming out from the... No, not Nomad, apologies. Looks like Sledge was... Or was she? Who has Diffuser? It's the Ace! Is watching the flank. This Capcan slowly sneaking up the stairs. Does he see? He sees him first and he lands the shot. All Eyes Mango managing to equal the number of kills he got in the previous round. Bandit managed to secure a kill despite being on incredibly low health in sight. as they begin to push into sight. Another kill coming out, this time from the Legion of Plasma onto Marches. A headshot coming out from Thermite, but there's one still playing Rafters. Does he realise he's there? No, he doesn't, and he gets shut down by the Jaeger in Rafters. It's now a 3v2 situation with 20 seconds on the clock. Can the Nomad and the Ace push into sight here? They have a little bit of an opening through the construction wall, but can they push this advantage? Cash has basically been held off completely. Two on the side of Expansion though are looking incredibly healthy. There is still a C4 on the side of the Valkyrie. Does she see? The Ace gets downed as he rushes in. C4 goes out, doesn't quite connect with the Nomad. She's still left alive, but gets shut down by the Legion with a nice little headshot from CC. And Expansion secured the first win on their defensive round. Black Angel Esports being one man up now from where they were in the previous game. Sadly not able to get the first round in their pocket. Will they be able to show up later on though? Will their defense be stronger than their attack? We're only in round 1, so there's plenty more siege to be seen at this point. We now see Expansion going downstairs to the church arsenal room site. Bring the pulse, which is often quite crucial here for getting that C4 kill through the floor, either into the hallway or into the kitchen. Same operators coming out on the side of Black Angels, apart from the Twitch now being switched on to the IQ. Nomad for that flank watch, Ace and Hibana for the hatches and any walls that they decide to push. Valkyrie on the side of Expansion likely being used for a lot of intel, and also a mirror being brought. Not often you see a mirror on this site. Let's see how Expansion are going to use her. Are they going to have a mirror window watching into blue vents? Are they going to have one watching out the back of church? Where is this mirror going to go? I know. It looks like the Valkyrie is setting up for an impact trick. However, there is only one impact left on the side of the Legion.
10 seconds left before insertion.
He's checking whether he can do it. But that's only one impact that they can use, and there's a Hibana and an Ace on the side of Dark Angel Esports. It takes 2 Ace charges to break a hatch, so if this is tricked very well, then the hatch, then that's 2 Aces that can't be used elsewhere. However, Hibana now, since the rework, can now fire 2 pellets, or 4 pellets, or 6 pellets. She doesn't have to fire 6 every single time. So very easily they can waste out that one impact nade on the side of Expansion and manage to get that hatch open. IQ and the Ace playing outside the freezer and bakery. Ace opening up the dirt wall in case they want to push it. Seems like most of Expansion are now actually playing in on site. I certainly see 4 of them here. One of them might be playing upstairs though on the roam. Yes, you see Valkyrie up here in the bathroom. Does anybody realise it's here? What is happening with Pulse downstairs? Being shot through the floor by that IQ. IQ using her scanner to counter that Pulse. She can see the scanner in his hand. I'm surprised she hasn't landed a headshot after seeing him through the floor. And the first pick goes the way of Dark Angel. Hake, the new player who was unfortunately able to join up until now, was able to get an early pick onto the Pulse. She'd already been lit up by the IQ of Not God. And here you see they're trying to go for the impact trick. However, that impact has now been used, and as I said, the Hibana is being used successfully in a way to bait out that impact trick, but still get the hatch open. And she still has 14 in pocket. Another kill falling the way of Hake. And now Penta pushes inside and gets another. The flank of Valkyrie though coming in and netting 1 kill upstairs while Plasma in sight hits the head of the IQ as they drop in through the hatch. Sophia is down but not out. Another one's inside though. Does the Legion realise she's here? Yes, he does. Swings out, hits a few shots on Nomad, manages to land a few more. Plasma absolutely going off with a triple kill here, leaving it in a 2v1 situation. Just Penta left on the side of Dark Angels. Has a diffuser playing in Modo at the moment. Both the Valkyrie and the Legion playing close by. It looks like the Valkyrie is going to be playing above. This leaves the Legion in a bit of a dangerous spot. If he gets picked off, Penta might be able to get in and get the plant in on site. However, it doesn't look like he's going to at this point. Doesn't realise where the Legion is. Sees it, but both of them trading equal parts health. More so winning on the side of Ace. Valk coming though on a blue stairs flank. Hopefully coming in and managing to link up with the Legion. The plant is being stuck by Ace. Do they realise it's going down? Now they do. The Legion swings. So does the Valkyrie. Do they see him? No, they don't. Planted behind black box. Pre-fires it. Misses the shot. It's now 2v1 with the diffuser down. Dark Angel have a slightly bigger advantage here. Seaport coming out, but saved by the black boxes. Where is this Legion? Has he gone from behind? Yes, he has. He sees the Ace, but he doesn't manage to land the kill. On 25 health, the Ace is still left versus the Valkyrie. Sees behind the bomb, misses the shots. And Valkyrie secures the kill on the Ace with 20 seconds on the defuse. Leaves the Legion down outside, will not get a death, and Valkyrie manages to secure the defuse. Expansion win round number 2. A lot closer there between Expansion and Black Angels. However, Expansion still managed to come out on top at the very end of all of that. A good flank by the Valkyrie, who was playing top floor, resulting in a couple of kills falling the way of Expansion. And a lost round from Black Angels. Thought they had a good foothold, did a lot of damage early, but sadly was not able to carry this through, secure that plant, and carry on from the game. We're just doing a quick pause on the game timer. It's been requested by Black Angels. We have a mic glitch on their side. Each team is allowed to call 1 pause in each game. So this is using the 1 pause that Black Angels have, unless of course we have a disconnect. So next time, should an issue occur, we will not be able to pause the game for them. Unless of course it's a desync issue, a disconnect. Then we will pause to let the player get back in, but if it is a mic glitch issue, which this one is, then we are able to pause the game. This gives a bit of time for both teams though. They're able to talk about what they did well, what they did bad. Maybe it was due to that mic glitch issue in the previous round that managed to lose it for Black Angels, and Expansion managed to get the win because the communication just wasn't there. We might never know. Hopefully the player joins back nice and quick though. One second, I'm just typing some messages in the chat just to make sure that everything's communicated properly. And I can't type and talk at the same time, otherwise I'll mess both of them up. Everybody's back now in the game, so we'll get this one going. Hopefully that mic glitch is sorted for them, but if it continues to persist, then unfortunately they will not be able to call another pause on the side of Black Angels. However, should the mic glitch occur on the side of Expansion, they will be able to call a pause in proceedings to either do a reconnect or a rehost. Should one of the players disconnect though, we will pause the game and allow them to rejoin, as unfortunately this can sometimes happen. If however they are starting to take too long, if they take longer than, I believe, maybe 10 minutes. We'll need to double check this in the rules, but I think if they take longer than 10 minutes to reconnect, then the game will continue on without them, or they will have to join the following round. Either way, we are now going into round number 3, Expansion currently leading 2-0 against Black Angels. After seeing the previous game on the previous map, I was expecting maybe a little more to be coming out of Black Angels here now that they have the full roster on their side, but so far, unfortunately, it hasn't panned out that way. Because of winning the first 2 rounds on defense, they are now moving up to the top floor, bedroom gym hold. So this site is sometimes preferred by some teams over some of the other sites, however, it is not always the strongest. Looks like they're fully reinforced off logistics there.
10 seconds remaining.
Whether this comes to bite them in the ass, we will see later.
5 seconds left.
On the side of Dark Angels though, we only have 1 hard breach, so which wall are they going to go for?
Attackers are heading
We
out.
have the Ace, played by Penta. So far the scores on the doors are Plasma showing up strong for Expansion, 6 kills with 3 assists. So far he has assisted with almost every other kill that his team has managed to get in this game, proving incredibly crucial. But just as I say that, commentator's curse, he gets picked off by the Zofia through the stairs window while he's trying to rotate round. They said commentator's curse wasn't real. I beg to differ. Here we see though a vigil being brought out on the side of Key and Frank, playing downstairs in strip. Still got that loud music going, so apologies for that. Thatcher being used to open up this jacuzzi wall. 2 aces being thrown out to get it open nice and wide. Nobody playing it though, trying to trick it. Nomading top of main stairs to stop those flanks. And Hake managing to land a kill onto the Valkyrie that was flanking down the main stairs. Putting a claymore there to hopefully stop any other roamers. Does he realise that the vigil though is playing over in pool table? I don't quite know if this is the case. Vigil here about to come in to face off the Vac. And she sees Zofia, but the Zofia managed to swing around and get the kill. Hake on a triple currently already, after picking up the Legion, the Valk and the Vigil. Sees the Jaeger but misses the shot. Pre-fires, he's moving into destruction. Pre-fires again, missing all of his bullets, moving to the pistol though. Decides to actually go for a reload. Managed to download the mute, and the Twitch secures a kill with the Twitch drone. And a flawless round coming out from the side of Black Angels. I think this is as good a response as any from Black Angels, showing that you may have beaten us in those first 2 rounds, but we're not down and out yet. We can still put up a good fight by going flawless. Plasma, of course, being the crucial part of Expansion's defense so far on Clubhouse, and taken out nice and early, possibly meant the Black Angel were able to get in and get the frags that they needed. Hake on the side of Black Angels, proving incredibly useful in this manner, getting 6 kills so far, a triple in the last round. Hake, of course, was unfortunately unable to join us for the first game due to connectivity issues. However, he's with us now and he's certainly showing his impact, and maybe the game on Cafe would have gone incredibly different had Hake been in.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Oh sweet, drops are enabled on this stream. Good to know, Maz. Anyway, we now go back to CC and Cashroom, played on the top floor. First time Expansion came here, they won it quite decisively against Black Angels, who managed to get construction hold, managed to get rid of the bandit, but did not get that main CC wall open. And from there, their attack just seemed to fall apart as Plasma picks up kill after kill, eventually resulting in them overall losing the round on time. Kian really does love his Capcan, doesn't he? So far, unfortunately, Capcan hasn't proved all that crucial in Expansion's defense. Instead, it's been the other trap operator of Legion, but more so with his fragging capability of the man behind him, Plasma, getting those kills. I assume man anyway, do tell me if I'm wrong. Setup being incredibly similar this time from Dark Angels, bringing 2 hard breaches in the form of the Ace and the Thermite. Thermite likely going to be going for that main CC wall. Hopefully this time with the help of the Thatcher, they won't waste all of the EMP nades straight away. Getting a bit of drone control. Zofia currently in stock on her own, trying to find some pigs through the floor, opening up some angles onto the rotate hole. Thermite taking a tiny bit of damage as they try and get the wall here, but Bandit is tricking it. The Thermite being placed in the middle of the wall means that Bandit is able to very easily trick it on the side that he's going for. However, the second breach charge manages to get the wall because an EMP charge is kept in the back, and Thermite manages to kill the Bandit. However, the Jaeger playing top rafters manages to land a headshot on the Thatcher, so they've managed to keep the scores even as a 4-4. Capcan is currently, of course, downstairs on the flank. If only he knew where the Zofia was, he could quite easily get a wallbang through the wall. She's on her drone, she doesn't even realise he's there. It's about to be droned out now into kids. Heard a noise though. Oh, into kids. Into bar. Realises where the Capcan is. Tries for a pre-fire but misses it. And a C4 comes out. I believe that was from the Capcan in main. Manages to get Penta. Playing the Ace, who was in construction, opening up the wall. Plasma playing close to the bomb, but trying to be shot out by the sledge of Marshes. Hake below pulling a goo out of the leg. Plasma landing a few shots. No, not quite landing a few shots. Stuck behind the bomb and the green box. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, you could say. Thermite on his own though, trying to go in through breach. Jaeger misses the shot and Thermite is in CC. Thermite still in. Doesn't see the Jaeger until it's too late and gets shut down at the same time as Plasma again manages to land the shots onto, I believe, the Zofia. And finally, Plasma finishing off with the final kill onto Zofia. This one was onto Zofia, the other one was onto the sledge, playing in construction. Once again, another well-played defensive round but on the side of expansion. And once again, Plasma showing his worth to the team, adding 2 more kills to his tally, bringing him to 8 currently. Hake also fragging out on the side of Black Angels, but unfortunately has been doing work for his team, but sadly the rest of his team have maybe been letting him down a little bit on this attacking side, not getting the frags where they need to, not getting the openings. And sadly, which puts them on 3-1, currently going into round 5. Expansion going back downstairs now that they've won CC for the 2nd time. Can they get another win on the downstairs site when they will then move back to gym and bedroom? We'll have to see on this one.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Once again, bringing out a similar setup, with that Capcan being extra crucial. Plasma still sticking on that role of Legion. Seems to be a bit of his crutch operator. Vigil being brought out once again. Hopefully the roam goes slightly better for him this time.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
He manages to win the gunfight next time he faces off against the Zofia of Hake. Although Hake has now swapped onto the role of Hibana. So switching around of roles here. Not sure if this was the same setup on the first time they attacked this site, but with the Cade not being in play, whether he's banned or not, I cannot remember. But we'll see what happens here. Is Hake... No, the only room... Maybe thought about going for a spawn peek, but has decided against it. Is instead going to be playing stock. He is maybe going for a spawn peek, has broken the door slightly. Can he get an angle on one of Black Angel's players? He sees the person, lands a few shots, but doesn't manage to net the kill. Maybe 10 damage taken to Thatcher, as they now watch to see if the Vigil re-peaks, but he is not. It could have been a great opening pick for expansion to once again put them with the advantage ahead of this. Now you see Black Angels swarming in and taking control of that stock room where the Vigil was previously playing. Vigil has now disappeared off, all the way back over into Strip, enjoying the music. I'm not. And Black Angels are getting the control that they need onto the hatch in kitchen. Tried to go for the impact trick, but it hasn't quite worked out. They've wasted one of the impacts. There are 2 impacts left, but they're on the side of Vigil, who is currently playing off-site. Most of Black Angels now stacking up between stock and the kitchen. However, Ace is getting dangerously far away from the rest of his team, and he has Diffuser. If Vigil only knew, then he could mainly come around and pick up this Ace and drop the Diffuser in a useful position for his team. Not many shots coming out from either team here. Still the only engagement so far being between the Vigil and the Thatcher that happened right at the very beginning. Thatcher walking away with a bit of life, but no! The Nomad coming into contact with the Vigil, who is stuck in Strip, losing most of her health to this Vigil, and not really getting much in return. Vigil is stuck in Strip though. There is no rotate out of here. He can only push through that double door. Do Black Angels just decide to Nomad it off and keep him stuck in here? Or do they decide to push and press the advantage and try and secure the kill onto the Vigil? It seems they've just decided they want to keep him in there. Nomad pressing the advantage though, but she is on the lowest bit of health. Just a tiniest shot, and there she is. She gets downed. But the IQ comes to support behind, but no! A double impact kill on the side of the only room on the Vigil. Nets 2 kills against Dark Angels. Ace is still separated from the rest in secret. Hake is pushing the advantage with the Diffuser into Strip, manages to get the Vigil injured, manages to pick up the kill, and Ace also picks up one on blue side. Thatcher is on his own in after opening Modo. It's now a 3v3 situation. The scores have been equalled up after a couple of kills coming out on either side. Plasma playing on second box, contesting the AC. Ace decides to fall back and link up with the rest of his team. Can he play Kitchen Hatch? Kitchen Hatch is wide open, and Hake gets a beautiful angle onto Legion, who was playing on the second box, shutting down Plasma. There's only 15 seconds to go. The Diffuser is on Hake, but he gets a Legion mine in his leg. The smoke comes out, and the Thatcher comes down the main stairs, secures the kill on the Capcan, leaving Johnson Souza in a 1v3, but sadly a spray through the smoke from the Ace manages to shut down the Jaeger, and Dark Angels win the next round. One more defensive round here on the side of expansion. Can they win this half, going 4-2, which would be a very good defensive half, as it's sort of expected on this map. Or will Dark Angels be able to pull it back a little bit and finish this half on 3-3, which puts them into a greater advantage going through into the second half? Once again, similar picks coming out from both teams. Seems Dark Angels were expecting for expansion to go back to the Church Arsenal room site as they bring the double hard breach, but bringing Hibana mainly for those hatches. The only room is swapped back out on the Vigil that he played so well on the previous round. However, he unfortunately wasn't able to get quite enough picks and eventually lost his life to Hake, who then pushed into sight, managed to get the diffuser down with the help of his team and win out the round in the end. So far the scores on the doors are Hake going 10-3, proving crucial to his team and showing up the fact that maybe if he'd been here earlier we would have seen a very different result on the side of Cafe, the first map that we saw play. Plasma once again still keeping his team in this with 8 kills. However, not being able to nest 1 previously in the last round resulted in the team losing. The only room of course getting 3 as well, but sadly wasn't quite enough for the map win.
5 seconds left. Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
Once again, Vigil going for an aggressive position, playing on the freezer this time, trying to see if he can see anybody coming from that spawn side. Just moves at the wrong time. See Thatcher. Thatcher sees the open wall and manages to land a beautiful headshot onto the Vigil, who got far too aggro there from the freezer door. Only loses a tiny sliver of health, 20, 35 health, if that. Good engagement there from Dark Angels. Managed to get themselves the man advantage nice and early on, well into the round. It was good to see Vigil changing up the spawn peak there, but unfortunately it just didn't pay off. As unfortunately they heard the breaking of the barricade, saw the peak hole opened up already and just pre-fired it when he decided to peek his head there. See Ace now going in secret, the Capcan playing upstairs. Once again, flanks from Aroma could be very crucial here as 3 are only in sight on the side of expansion, but he gets picked off on the long angle from blue stairs. The Jaeger in the bottom of vents, that ADS proving useless when a bullet goes straight through his head. The Valkyrie is now moving up to play this position. She knows the ace is there. That has to get the swing. She does get the swing and manages to get the kill. A couple of hatches open. One of the hard breaches gone, but there's still an advantage now to Dark Angels. Hake now playing this hatch here quite aggressively on stock. Going onto his drone just to check a couple of things. Now where is the Capcan? Capcan's still playing the top of these stairs. I don't think they realise he's still up there. He's just shot one of the Nomad devices though. That may have given his position away, but hopefully if not, he might be quite crucial. The IQ is now pushed into the bottom of garage. She's now going back up oil pit. Does she realise that the Capcan is in garage? Does the Capcan see her in the bottom of oil pit? No, he doesn't. Doesn't realise that anybody's there. The call has come out though. Hake is pushing upstairs. It's about to get the shots on. Misses the shots on the Capcan. The Capcan now is alerted to his presence. IQ also helping from below. No C4 coming out. Shots coming out from Hake, missing absolutely everything. Trying to land the shots now on the Capcan, and he does, but the Capcan lands a beautiful headshot through the wall, left on the slimiest slither of health, and manages to get a double kill onto the IQ, pushing up in the garage stairs. Left on the lowest tiny slither of health, but getting 2 kills. It could prove crucial in this round. Finally swinging favour back towards expansion. Noban and Thatcher still here. Mango managing to score a kill onto the low health Capcan playing in rafters. Now both of them pushing down blue with 30 seconds left on the clock. Can they push the advantage here? Both teams looking quite healthy. Plasma's still though on the board and he's proven very crucial on previous rounds for his team. Mad Gun landing a few rounds onto the Thatcher, putting on even lower health after that initial spawn peak from Vigil. He's now inside though. Does he realise where the Legion is? No, he doesn't. So Legion gets the kill, killing the man with the diffuser. He also starts shooting Nomad, but gets injured in the process in that 1v1 situation. Nomad goes for the plant. Is the Valkyrie Star C4 on the side? Does she know the plant's going down? Yes, she does, but it's moving a little too late. The plant gets stuck down by the Nomad, who's on just over half health. Does she see the Valkyrie? Shots come out, so the Valkyrie knows where she's got the C4 on side, throws the C4 out, misses it, does no damage at all to the Nomad. Nomad comes around, sees the feet of Valkyrie coming through the rotate and finishes her off. Dark Angels, after nearly losing it there, looking like they're a little bit messy getting into sight, managed to pull it back in the post-plant situation. Currently go 3-3 into round number 7 as they swap sides and go onto the defense, and expansion go onto attack. This map once again looking incredibly close between these two teams. or not looking again, should I say, just both teams looking very even. On the side of Dark Angels, deciding to opt out to go for the basement site first, Church and Arsenal. Bringing out a smoke for those canisters, Valkyrie for that intel, Vigil, very similar to the way that Expansion bought it, the Legion and the Jaeger. Both teams running very similar setups to each other here. 6th pick from a Nomad onto a Nomad. All but the smoke gets changed out for the Mozzie. The Vigil and the Mozzie paired together could work incredibly well if they can get a few drones off the board nice and early.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
Then Dark
defused by
Angels
attackers.
could increase the advantage that they have with that Vigil. Let's see how Dark Angels manage to set it up here. If Dark Angels have a better defense than they manage to have an attack, then they may be able to walk away with the win on this one, tying the series at 1 apiece. However, can Expansion, now they're on the attack, pull this out the bag and start to get a few more kills? Well, not necessarily a few more kills to name, but get a few more rounds under their belt. All members of both teams now getting kills, but Plasma definitely being the MVP so far for Expansion, with the rest of his team getting 3 kills apiece. Hake still on 10 kills for his side.
Attackers are moving out to
The rest of the
locate a bomb
team
and
picking
defuse
up a
it.
few here and there, but it's been enough. They've got the kills when it matters, because Black Angel have of course brought this to equal points at the halfway point. Hibana watching for the spawn peaks, probably looking for the similar ones that were made against them previously, although only Rumi, or the only room should I say, is being played, is on the Nomad. It was previously on the Vigil. Surely they should be the ones looking out for the similar spawn peaks, but no spawn peaks at the moment coming out on the side of Dark Angels. However, the Jaeger is playing off-site on a good roam, and Hake is also coming up the main stairs going into Bar, trying to hold the Modo hatch. If the Jaeger doesn't get droned out upstairs, this could prove crucial. However, it appears that they may be going for a top floor take on the side of Expansion, but instead they now seem to have been dropping off, getting the members of their team around to maybe go for that kitchen hatch. Nomading off the rotate from bathroom. And here we go, C4 coming out from the Valkyrie, sadly not quite hitting the mark. And the hatch is going to be open. Impact Trick though takes away 6 of the X-Cairo pellets. No bait coming out here from Madigan. On the hatch, another 6 going out. We still have 1 impact on the side of the Legion on Marches. Manages to trick the hatch once again. We still have 6 pellets left on the side of Hibana. Is she going to go for the hatch again? Is she going to usual 6? Or will she save some more for later? Here a Nomad going off somewhere. Whether that catches out, seems it catches out the roaming Hake. Hake being incredibly close here to the Zofia. Do they realise quite how close they are together? Zofia currently on the drone. If she comes off of it, will she be able to get a pick? And Penta getting a kill from the top floor as he comes down. The Nomad holding the long angle though, gets the down onto him. And Hake finally realises where the Zofia is. Takes a bit of damage in return though, but currently it's a 3 versus 3 still. Breaks open the barricade, sees maybe the Nomad. I think the Nomad managed to cross before she was seen. She knows the Vigil's there, but does the Vigil know she's there? Now they do. Both swinging each other. Which one's going to come out on top of this gunfight? The Vigil says, okay, I've had enough of this, and decides to fall back to site. Playing the time game with 35 seconds on the clock. That is exactly what needs to be done by Dark Angels here. Although we now see that Ace is pushed up into dirt. Do they realise he's in dirt? He's being droned out. They realise that there's someone in double box. He misses the smoke grenade. And he decides now, with 20 seconds on the clock and diffuser in hand, that is now the time to rotate out of dirt. Maybe join the Hibana to drop through kitchen hatch. 15 seconds remaining. This is really bringing it down to the wire on the side of Expansion. Once again showing that they leave some of these executes right until the very end. And they get flanked out by All Eyes on Mango, who manages to down the diffuser and the other one from the drop. Nomad also drops the hatch, but sadly not enough time left on the clock to really do anything, whether that be plants or getting the frags. So Dark Angels on their first defensive round managed to win it quite decisively there. Once again, Expansion showing that sometimes time management is not necessarily their strong suit. They had a couple of rounds that they could have quite easily won had they been maybe a little quicker getting into sight, but instead they leave everything to the last minute and push in. Sometimes it's worked out for them, however this time on their first attacking round it does not. Now we see Black Angels going onto the top floor site of CCTV room and cache, bringing a frost on Not God. However, these 6 picking off of it onto the Bandit, giving the false impression to Expansion that maybe the Thatcher would come in really useful in getting those mutes off the wall. However, they're not going to make it that easy. No thermite being brought out on the side of the Expansion though, so any holes made into the main CC wall will not be as big as those produced by Dark Angels when they were on the attack. However, the fact that they bought the Hibana and the Ace may mean that they're going for a garage and construction push instead of going for the main CC wall, especially since they have the Bandit in play, who can maybe go for a few bandit tricks if required. Looking back at the scoreboard, Plasma once again showing up big, but sadly still not able to help his team get another win on the board. Meanwhile, more kills coming out on the side of Penta and Mango. And Hake, of course, still showing up strong with the 11 kills. Hake currently playing quite aggressive at the bottom of the main garage. Maybe he's going for a spawn peek. Let's see what he does here. Breaks the barricade at the last possible second, waiting to see if anybody spawns on the warehouse stairs. Nobody gone up there yet. 2 have spawned in that location. Will he be able to pick one of them up? Plasma is about to peek the corner. He does, but he manages to take out Hake instead with a good round. These two fraggers currently for the team, Plasma versus Hake. Plasma manages to win that duel and brings his kills up to the same level as Hake is currently on. EMP coming out, the Bandit is there, ready for the trick on Not God. However, nobody is now playing Garage on the side of Dark Angel. Do Expansion realise this? Are they able to push this advantage? They've currently droned it. Hibana realises that maybe it's open, but no, she's instead going to the roof. Garage is completely clear, guys. Why are you not going in? So infuriating when you know these things. Sadly, unfortunately, they may not have the intel that they need or the call to actually go on this rotate. Thatcher and Ace preparing to get this wall. The Thatcher going out, quickly followed by the Ace onto the wall. There's also a Zoth below who looks like, yep, she's going to impact below. Does a bit of damage to the Bandit. C4 coming out. However, I think it was destroyed either by another Zofia charge or by the explosion from one of the Ace charges. Mute is now rotated into the top of Rafters, so Dark Angels now have someone playing Rafters, and he manages to get a cheeky little kill there onto Plasma. Plasma not quite realising what's going on, so Mango, despite the fact that he missed the first few shots, manages to get that headshot onto the Ace, taking out one of the key players on Expansion's side and dropping the diffuser outside that breach, turning it back into a 4v4. Thatcher playing on the rappel here on the breach currently. Going to see if he can secure this diffuser, seeing if there's anybody still Rafters, but it looks like the likes of Mango has now rotated to the bottom of Garage. Both sides now playing it quite cautiously with 1 minute left on the clock. Sledge, though, still on the outside. Kian with three kills to his name so far, going on the drone. Hopefully, if he sees that this smoke is at the bottom, then maybe he can get another frag for his team. However, he doesn't see the mute in Harry Potter. I meant mute, not smoke, sorry. Now looks like they're also... Expansion is going for a construction take, and the Hibana of the only room swings the angle. Manages to land the shots onto the smoke, and Jaeger misses the refrag. This puts Dark Angels in a bit of a sticky situation, but with 30 seconds on the clock, this might not be the end of the world for them. Hibana now has construction control, which is being joined by... And the Thatcher of Johnson Souza manages to connect a kill, but then a sneaky little Bandit lying on the floor manages to shoot Hibana in the head. Thatcher manages to get inside though and manages to stick the plant. Zofia is pressuring the Bandit playing in cash room, so he isn't able to deny the plant. And now it's a 1v3 situation with Not God on the Bandit. He's taken out by the Sledge, swinging top of his stairs. And Expansion answer back to Dark's previous win with a win of their own. Both of these teams going equally at it so far, 4-4 on the board, and we're into round 9. We now see Dark Angels going back to CCTV room and cash. Hopefully this time Hake is not picked off right at the beginning. I think that was one of the key points that lost it for them. Their only roamer who was out of sight and also holding Garage gave up that very quickly to the enemy team of Expansion. Expansion did exactly what their team says on the tin, and they expanded into sight and managed to net the win overall. Thank you all for sticking with me this evening. So far we're at a stream length of 2 hours and 26 minutes. This game looks like it's going to be continuing on for some time. But hopefully at the end of this we will see one team or another walking away with the victory. Will it be Expansion making it 2 wins in this best of 2 series and securing themselves the full 3 points? Or will Black Angels be able to fight back and net themselves the round win, putting the best of 2 series at a draw, netting them 1 point each in the league standings, tying them in second place with, I believe, Tempo, RNS, Ice and Zodiac. Once again, Bandit on the trick here. We have a Doc. This time Hake deciding to go on more of a heavy 3 armor operator rather than the speedy 1 armor that he was previously. Once again going for a similar spawn peak, but this time using the 1.5 of Doc to try and get a longer angle through the door. If ever he misses any shots that he has onto the ace, and Hibana opens the wall behind him, causing him to be pushed off slightly, but the Hibana goes to roof. Nobody's playing this angle just yet. They'll probably save it for later. Sledge is currently on the roof trying to apply a bit of pressure through the CC window. Just trying to shoot the barricade down, seeing if he can get any early picks if anybody's trying to rotate between top rafters and the CC. Hake has now returned to site as the Doc, still got 3 stims in pocket, so should his team start losing a little bit of health, then maybe they're able to bring it back. Penta on the Jaeger currently playing over on the bedroom side. Logistics hatch has now just been opened by a member of Expansion. So he barricades the door and falls back, sitting in this very safe bathroom location. If he gets droned out though, it may not be as safe as he wants it to be, and he's just been droned out there maybe by a member of Expansion. Once again the main wall has been opened, the Bandit has not been able to trick it. The Ace and the Thatcher working in tandem here to get 2 big holes in that wall. Allow them to vault through. Not God is now all the way down in the bottom of blue, possibly preparing for a late game flank. This could prove crucial depending on where the push comes from. Might even be using those impacts that he still has in pocket to try and deny plant through the floor. Hake currently holding an angle in rafters, trying to pick someone from breach. Both teams here still looking incredibly healthy after over half the round has gone. Sophia currently playing in VIP, thinks somebody might be down in secret, and she's right. Marshes takes a hell of a lot of damage there from somebody, but then a refrag coming out from Hake. Kills coming left, right and centre. Hake pushing up aggressively, manages to get himself 1 kill, followed up by, I believe, a kill from Smoke or Mute. Sledge has run into sight, but unfortunately he's been downed, trying to get back out, and he can't, and Penta secures the kill, netting himself a double so far in this round. He swings the main breach, misses most of his shots on the Ace. The Ace, but misses back though, both of them taking a tiny bit of damage, and we're currently left in a 5v2. Mad Gun, though, has managed to flank up below, or Hake has rotated round and gets picked off. Penta too also gets picked off by the Ace outside on breach. 2 members of Dark Angels now lie dead on the floor, with an Ace and a Zofia still left on the board. With only 15 seconds left to go though, can they get in here? Press the advantage. There's a Smoke still on the board, only 1 canister left, but this could be the all-important bit. The Ace is basically completely stopped from pushing into sight until the last few seconds, and easily gets picked off there by the Bandit holding top of these stairs. Dark Angels putting up an incredibly good performance there. Smoke keeping one of the canisters in pocket there to deny the Ace from pushing into CC through the open breach. Meanwhile, the Bandit secures a kill onto the last remaining player of Expansion, who was pushing in from, I believe, Construction, leaving it in a 1v3 situation with time not in the favour of Expansion. So Dark Angels managed to win the round, putting them at 5-4, 1 round away from match point, possibly their penultimate round away from the win. Can Dark Angels make a comeback here and secure the 2nd map for themselves, putting each of these teams at 1 game apiece in this best of 2 series? Both teams seeming evenly matched here. Once again, as we saw on the first map. Dark Angels opting to go down in the basement this time. After winning the upstairs site, the basement is now open for them once again. I believe they won here on their first defensive round. See if they can bring out a similar performance once again. Then they could see themselves going to be the first team to hit match point. However, as we saw on Cafe, they got into this position before, going 6-4 up. However, it did not pan out for them in the end, as Expansion managed to really pull it together when it was needed and brought it back into overtime at 6-6, and then managed to win the overall game by winning 2 overtime rounds to secure themselves overtime match points, going 8-6. Players to keep an eye out so far in this game are Plasma and Hake, currently equaling each other in the number of frags that they managed to get. Penta is then showing up for Dark Angels with 8 kills, along with All Eyes on Mango getting 9. That is 8 more kills than he got in the previous game, ladies and gentlemen. 8 more kills from Mango, really showing that last game he just didn't gel with Cafe. On the side of Dark Angels, we see the Mozzie going for a bit of roam, but now returning to site. Most Dark Angels playing on site apart from Penta, who once again is going for that upstairs roam, this time playing in CC. He's about to come face to face with an Ash who's currently playing in construction. Does the Ash hear him? Does the Ash realise he's there? No, she starts pushing towards bedroom. If Penta pushes up at the right time, he could be able to net an early pick onto Johnson Souza. I'm terrible with some of these names, trying to read them quickly, so apologies for that. The Ash still wary that there may be somebody nearby, but doesn't quite know where. Goes on drone though, so gets spotted by default cam. Hopefully that call comes out on the side of Dark Angels to Penta, letting him know that the Ash is swinging up though. Sees the Jaeger. Both of them trade a little bit of damage, but Ash comes off worse in this engagement. Tries to get a pre-fire through the wall though and misses the shot. Ash walks away with only 25 hit points though. Certainly did not come out well on top of that one. However, the Jaeger has now completely fallen off into the top rafters of Garage as Ash continues to try and push the advantage here. Sees the long angle on the Jaeger but doesn't manage to land any shots. Jaeger has now completely fallen off and is now back in bottom of blue, heading up to Secret. The rest of Expansion still seems to be trying to get the kitchen hatch open, which they've now been able to do. No impact tricking coming out here on the side of Dark Angels, or if they did, it certainly wasn't effective enough. 2 Hibana pellets left in the pockets of Hibana. 4 have just been currently put on stock hatch, and 2 will maybe be put on Modo. Sadly, 2 is not enough to open a hatch, as you'll see here. 2 will be able to create a little hole in Modo hatch, but sadly the hatch will not get opened. However, they still have the ace on the board, who could use one of his ace charges to get that hatch fully open, now that that is the only hatch left for them to get. It then only leaves one ace in pocket for later push onto the round. See 4 members of Dark Angels currently playing around in church. Come on boys, spread out a little bit. Social distancing. Don't you know we're in the middle of a pandemic? Mango currently on cam. If there was an IQ on the board here from Expansion, they maybe would have been able to get an easy pick there. Tasted a little headshot through the floor. Sadly not the case. 15 seconds left though. Expansion once again leaving this possibly far too late. Rushing into sight, getting a pick here, getting a pick there. They're now in a 4v3 with Ace getting the plant down. However, another one gets picked up on the side of Dark. And it's now a 2v2 situation. The plant goes down. And now it's in a 1v1 situation. Kills going left, right and centre. I can barely keep track of them. The sledge of Kian spots out the Jaeger, the Penta, who's left on very low health. And Penta, with a quadra kill, manages to secure the kill onto the sledge who's playing church. Gets over to the diffuser, completes the defuse, and gets another round on the board for Dark Angel Esports. Pushing them into match point for the second time today. Can they capitalise on this momentum that they've had on the defending side? Will they be able to pull together another winning round on defence and win the second map, putting each team at 1 map apiece? They're going to Gym Bedroom. This is a site we haven't seen them play yet already. If they can do a slightly better hold than Expansion did, then maybe we'll see them win on match point. But you need to remember here that Dark Angels have 2 chances at getting this match point. So Expansion need to win 2 rounds like they did on Cafe to level the playing field and push this into overtime. That's the only way that they can seem to win this map. 1 win for Dark Angels, at least, well, it needs to be 4 wins. 4 round wins on the side of Expansion before Dark Angels can get 1. My maths is terrible. They only need to get 2 on the side of expansion to send it into overtime, but they need a full 4 wins to win this game, while only 2 or 3 if we go into overtime. No, 1 or 3. I should just go to bed at this point. Only 3 rounds need to be won by Dark Angels should this go into overtime, but 1 is needed from them right now to push them into the map win on Clubhouse. We've seen some other teams in this first week of the league get into similar positions like this. I believe the Paradox versus Counteract game went into a similar position to this. A couple of rounds went to Paradox, a couple of rounds went to Counteract, and overall Paradox won the defending side. However, it was not to be. Counteract made it to match point first and they managed to secure it on their defensive side. Not too much on the roam coming out here from Dark Angel Esports. However, they have extended the construction hold all the way into cash with some reinforcements here. No warding now coming out on them yet, so they can still be open, but it looks like the Jaeger of Penta is going to be being played in here, maybe alongside the Mute of Marches. Opening a couple of little peak holes through into construction. Logistics wall is also reinforced, so that's going to be quite difficult for expansion to push into. And where is expansion going to be pushing on this one? We have the Ace and the Thatcher playing on the Jacuzzi side balcony. Ace trying to get an Ace charge through onto the mirror window, but sadly throws the first one too high and gets mute jammed. The second one maybe gets a bit of the mirror window, however it's not enough to actually destroy that mirror window that currently is still being played by the mirror and the bandit. God, it's a bit cozy behind that mirror window. Currently a bit of damage being done onto Johnson Souza. And we hear a little vibe, not the full vibe alarm, and the only room manages to pick up a cheeky little headshot onto the castle of Mango, holding the angle from master bedroom. The only room not having too much pressure applied to him yet on these rear stairs, might be able to push into sight and get the 2 playing in the bathroom. Doesn't see the bandit. The bandit manages to land the pre-fire onto him, tries to vault back over the mirror to get into the bathroom, one of the most safe positions on this map, but it's a 4v3 situation in favour of expansion. However, they lose out. Penta managing to pick up a kill onto the the Thatcher that pushed in, but in return Madgun has returned another frag, which is then fragged right back with Hake back on that mirror with the Ace on Jacuzzi. Do they realise though that Sledge is outside about to push Jin? And a C4 comes out from Hake, securing the kill onto Plasma. But another shot comes out onto the... But a beautiful flank by Penta coming out on the side of Dark Angels manages to secure the kill on the Sledge, winning them this Clubhouse game in quite decisive fashion. Trading kill for kill there, but the first kill I believe falling to Dark Angels, which in the end meant that they still had the final player standing when all the smoke settled and all is said and done on map number 2. Congratulations to both teams today. This means that both teams walk away with a map win under their belt, which gives each of them 1 point in the league standings. Well played on both sides, on both teams today. Dark Angels with the disadvantage going into game 1 due to some technical difficulties. However, they certainly made up for it in the second game by quite decisively winning that. Didn't even need the overtime for it, they just got it to match point on the defence and went for the win straight from there. Thank you very much everybody for tuning in today. This has been the first week so far of the PS4, PS5 EU Rainbow Six League. We are going to be continuing this for several more weeks to come, so feel free to tune into streams both on my channel and Sweeney Tree and Arrogant JB, and I believe also Connor's channel. I can't remember the name of it. For those of you that are interested, please feel free to let any moderators in the chat know, and they can provide you a link to the Discord so you come and get involved with the entire community. And if you're interested in joining the league in either future seasons, or if there's a dropout and you want to replace a team, then please feel free to let one of the Discord admins know and put your name down on the waiting list. Currently though, we are in week 1 of the very first season, so we are moving into week 2. I'm not sure if we have any placements yet. If we do have any placements available, I will quickly get them announced before I sign off the stream this evening. But I will need to see if I can get them from the league organizer, Connor. Thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in today for today's stream. It's an incredibly close game between the two teams today, Expansion and Dark Angels. Due to this, the league table is looking quite similar for a lot of teams, knowing that 6 of the 10 teams taking part in this first season tournament are currently sat at 1 point apiece because they drew in their best of 2 series. However, Counteract and RZP are currently sat at the top of the league with 3 points apiece after winning both of their best of 2 series. However, the losers in those fights, Paradox and Team Lethal, unfortunately, due to losing both those best of 2, are sat at the bottom. Hopefully, though, as we go into week 2, we'll see some of this being shaken up and some even greater games coming out of these teams as they face off against each other as we head into week 2. Like I say, thank you for joining in with the stream today. It's been my pleasure as always casting. Hopefully we'll have some duo casts coming for you in the upcoming week, but stay tuned for some more content coming out on my channel, along with more games also being streamed in the future. Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you haven't yet dropped a follow on my Twitch, please consider doing so. It really helps us out, both for the league and also for myself. And that'll be me done. Now I need to go get myself a Strepsil and probably a nice big cup of tea. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.